You're watching Fox Sports, home to Major League Baseball, the Big Ten Championship, NASCAR, the UEFA Champions League Final, the UFC, and the NFL. The world's biggest events are on Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports!
Today on Fox, America's best drivers are back out west, where the backlash of Bristol is still an issue. The Hendrick imprint is being felt by NASCAR's super team, and the defending champ is back in the driver's seat. It all makes for high-speed drama, and you have the best seat in the house. Welcome to the NASCAR on Fox pre-race show. From a part of the country known for its traffic jams and crowded speedways, today plenty of room to speed, and it's legal, 200 miles an hour. No Hollywood stuntmen needed here. In fact, the drivers, they don't need a script either. Buckle up, it could be a bumpy ride. Our mobile studio ready for its close-up, as are the drivers. We welcome you inside along with Darrell Waltrip, Michael Waltrip. I'm Chris Myers. Good to see you. Denny Hamlin on the pole. Engine changes have sent the second and third fastest qualifiers, Greg Biffle and Brad Keselowski, to the back of the field for the start of this race. More on that in a moment, but what's the word of the day?
Oh, the buzzword is fun. We're going to have fun in the California sun today. This new car has put the fun back in driving for these drivers.
I think it's wide open spaces.
No singing.
These guys are going to get with it, Chris. There's 5 lanes in the turns. These guys can run side by side. There's a lot of room, so you don't get that dreaded arrow push we hear so much about. That's going to make it fun, and the wide open spaces is going to mean a lot of speed.
It is sunny, temperature in the 70s. Our storylines. Kyle Busch, he won the nationwide race here yesterday, but what about today? Last 2 weeks, he's had speeding penalties on pit road after he's led in the races, costing him another tough week for Tony Stewart, currently 24th in the standings. He's done well in California, and the current champ, Brad Keselowski, moved to first in points. He starts at the back of the pack. We'll see how he adjusts. And he is amazing, switching from Dodge over to Ford now. He's led laps in every race this year, and it doesn't matter where he is. He hasn't won a race, but he certainly can handle his car.
Well, I think that's the brilliance of Roger Penske making that switch, but also Brad Keselowski. When he first came on the scene, I didn't like this kid much. He's a little too rough around the edges for me. But let me tell you, he won that championship last year. I've seen him in every situation. We saw him on American Idol. I saw him on a sports show on Friday. The kid is comfortable. I thought he was cocky. He's not. He's confident. Confident.
Has he got something going on the restarts? The double foul restarts are a lot of fun. Some of the other drivers think he has a certain formula he's messing with here.
I think everybody's looking at Brad and how he pulls off these restarts. You've got to be consistent. NASCAR says don't play any games in the restart box. People are wondering if Brad is indeed playing those. But, you know, Chris, early on, we won't have to worry about that. He's going to the back, but in the garage area, everybody thinks that maybe the 2 car of Brad Keselowski is the fastest car in town. It's going to be fun to watch he and Greg Biffle scramble to the front.
Brad could talk a good game and back it up. And, you know, when you think of great feuds, you think of Yankees, Red Sox, Jay Leno and NBC, Lindsay Lohan and the American judicial system. And NASCAR's had a long history of drivers and feuds and going at each other. Former Joe Gibbs teammates Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano, they had at it in Bristol last week. Hamlin in the 11, Logano in the 22. It even went into post-race when Logano went over to Hamlin and the teams got into it. The war continued with words over Twitter throughout the week. They had actually been exchanging some Twitter comments prior to all this. Hamlin told Logano on Twitter, "Hush, little child." Hamlin has since apologized for the wreck of the Twitter bashing. Here's Logano.
I don't consider anything an apology until it's personally made. So that's my response to that.
Now, our drivers, including Hamlin, testing Logano's limits here, seeing what he's really made of on the track.
Until this kid goes up there and pops somebody up upside the head, they're going to keep taking advantage of him. They know that he's just going to come and going to tweet me, or he's going to confront me, but not in a mean kind of way. He's got to stand up for himself. He's going to have to hit somebody.
And, you know, Denny told me, he said, people didn't see the whole story. He went back several laps before what we saw on TV. He said, I don't really think I got much to apologize for.
Well, we had Tony Stewart, and we had Harvick. Is Hamlin the new bad boy in NASCAR?
I think his nickname should be the Hammer. Denny Hamlin the Hammer.
Or the Haminator.
Back in the 80s, there was an outspoken driver, and they called him Jaws.
Oh, I remember him.
Oh,
now he's sitting here.
And we've had to put up with it.
Yeah, social media, it's more like anti-social the way things are going. A lot more to come here on the show, including Jimmie Johnson from the Golden State. We'll hear from people in his hometown who helped shape the champ. We'll talk live with Denny Hamlin, and Michael wanders out on the track to get the latest from drivers before the race goes green. We're glad you're watching NASCAR on Fox. We're live from the Auto Club Speedway. An American racing idol was in the audience this week for the taping of American Idol. Brad Keselowski, thoroughly entertained, had a good time, and today he hopes to entertain behind the wheel. As we mentioned, he is the points leader. Saying hi to the folks here in Southern California through introductions. Dale Earnhardt Jr. behind him, followed by Jimmie Johnson, a five-time NASCAR champion from El Cajon, about 15 miles outside of San Diego. It's about a 2-hour drive from here. The area not exactly known as being a hotbed for producing great drivers, but Jimmy's changed all that. He's proud of his hometown, and as you can see, his hometown is proud of him.
Growing up in El Cajon, small, kind of close-knit community. Everybody kind of knows each other.
I know how Jimmy grew up. I mean, you come home from school, if you did your homework, and then you hopped on your motorcycle, and off you went riding. You could ride for hours.
You got the desert one direction, and you got the beach the other direction. A lot of them head to the desert.
NASCAR has changed my life. I never had a home before. I've never even lived in a house. I've always had an apartment, so now I have not just a house, but a home. And Jimmy's a big part of that. Not only has he helped build these homes here, but he's given back to the schools here in El Cajon, and that means a lot to us.
He really has not forgotten about El Cajon and his roots. He has given back to the school in form of technology that all classrooms now have, and even some of the landscaping up around our football stadium he is responsible for.
Back then, when he was 16, 17, it was, I'm going to be there someday.
He started off by doing the go-kart racing, so I remember seeing him at our stadium and racing his go-kart, and I think at that point, being there in the crowd and everybody watching the racing, I think it was the first time I'm like, hi, this is maybe more than just a hobby.
He used to come in and get his hair cut, and he brought in one of the pictures for us from the truck series, and he was sitting at the desk up there with my wife, Jackie, and he was practicing drawing his J's. And she asked him, you know, Jimmy, what are you doing over there? He says, well, I'm practicing writing my J's, Jackie. You know, I got to get them just right for when I do autographs.
When you're that young and have that vision of where you're going to go, that's kind of neat.
For me, Jimmie Johnson's a guy that could go to New York and go right into the hottest club and fit right in. And he's also the same guy that could, the next morning, be at a cool little dive bar in El Cajon and be just as comfortable.
He's a California guy. That's what we like about him, is because he is laid back and he's not like some of the other drivers.
That was even evident to people, teenagers in high school. I think that people picked up on that, his diversity and his ability to fit in with the different groups.
He's Jimmie Johnson, our home boy, California boy. So I don't think it gets any better than that.
So many legendary accomplishments on the racetrack, but Jimmy, your true legacy could very well be what you've given back to your community. How humbling to see that impact.
It is, and it's very cool to give back and to go home and see people. And some of the faces on that piece there I hadn't seen in a long, long time. Mr. McKenzie, I remember being in his class, and Kerry grew up, you know, very, very close by to one another, and Caps, you know, being friends as we are. Just very, very cool. Rocky with the haircutting and all that. It took me down memory lane to watch that before we went on the air here, but it's so nice to give back to home and to be around and have a presence Johnsons for the Jimmy Johnson Foundation make the difference that we have. And happy to have that race car here this weekend and try to raise more awareness for our cause. And I'm very thankful that Lowe's and Cobalt Tools are as gracious and awesome as they are to let us do this.
More lanes in the 405, old pavement. What's your biggest challenge going for another win here at Auto Club?
We're just working with some new stuff. We haven't seen the speed that we've been after, but we've put our heads together and worked real hard over the night to get this car faster, and hopefully it's where we need it today.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Chris?
Thank you, Matt and Jimmy and Jake Jolivet for putting that together. And remember, his first win ever, 2002, launching the Hall of Fame career of Jimmy Johnson, came right here.
You know, he's the perfect champion. I mean, he represents our sport with class and with speed. I like the guy. I tell you, his autograph tells you a whole lot about him.
He practiced.
You know why? Because you can read it.
Yeah.
He wants you to know who he is and how neat it is. He's just a really cool guy. He represents our sport everywhere he goes with a lot of class.
And how about the way he came into the sport? Got his first win right here in his home state, and like you said, launching his Hall of Fame career. But what I like about this team is they're struggling right now. I don't like that, but it's true. They're scrambling right now. You heard Jimmy say, we're working with a lot of new stuff in our car, and we hadn't got it sorted out yet. Be interested to see if they can pull all together today.
Searching for speed. He's 37, 5 championships. How many more championships in him before he hangs it up?
Well, I think he'll win 7.
Okay.
I think he'll tie Richard and Dale.
Okay.
I don't know if he can win 8, but that 7 number, that must be really hard to accomplish because only a couple of guys have done it.
You got to win them in your 30s. He's 37. You got kids like Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski that are in their 20s that are going to win a lot during those years. So 1 or 2 maybe.
Earnhardt was 40.
Earnhardt and Petty, good guys to be talked about. Michael, you're going to wander out to the starting grid as the driver introductions and talk to some of the guys right before they jump in the car. Darrell and I will continue here, and we'll talk live with Denny Hamlin, the pole sitter for today's race. He's been in the news the last couple of weeks, currently 6th in the point standings. We're glad you're with us. The Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola, is sponsored by Sprint. Millions of fans, one family. Only Sprint can feed them all. Join the family at sprint.com/speed. If you think you have what it takes to take the checkered flag at NASCAR's closest finishes, check out NASCAR The Game Inside Line to see if you can rewrite the history books while reliving the most exciting moments from this season. It's your shot at the pros, only on NASCAR The Game Inside Line. There is Clint Boyer, who bought the car dealership he once worked at in Kansas. A Toyota dealership, and now racing at him. There's Danica Patrick. She'll celebrate her birthday on Monday. Last night she won the Kids' Choice Award given by Nickelodeon as the favorite female athlete.
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
She is, by far.
Joe Gibbs has always worked with people with plenty of ability and great personality. From Tony Stewart to Kyle Busch to Denny Hamlin. You can even go back to his Redskin days with Joe Theismann and John Riggins. Hamlin on the doorstep of a championship, and he's shown, if needed, he's prepared to fight to get back there again.
Here comes Hamlin once again. Denny Hamlin in the 11. Hamlin is hungry, man. Here comes Denny Hamlin. He'll go again. Hamlin.
That's the guy I think you got to keep an eye on.
Hamlin's going to be ready for it this time. Denny Hamlin goes to the top of the chart.
Yeah, we welcome the driver of the 11 FedEx Toyota, Denny Hamlin, from down on the track. Denny, thanks for being with us. I know you're a numbers, goal-oriented type of guy. How would you say your plan is going so far this season?
There's been up and downs, but really you look at how we've performed over the first 8 years of my Cup career. We never really start off that strong. So you know we're in a decent spot in points. I'd like to have a win by now, but we've obviously got a lot of great racetracks that are coming up for us. That's you know, hopefully going to be great opportunities for that. Today we've got a great FedEx Express Toyota. We feel like all weekend's been pretty seamless for us.
By the way, tremendous concentration of moving through the crowd, walking and talking with us. We appreciate that. We heard Joey Logano, not accept your apology on our show. Do you expect any retaliation from him today or perhaps in the near future?
I wouldn't expect so. It would be bad for him, in my opinion, if he did. Really, he got even with us when he plowed us on the restart and really caused our tire to blow at the end. But, you know, really, I didn't start it. I didn't start any of it. I just basically made a mistake by getting into him a little too hard in the corner, and he spun out. But really, I'm excited about our outlook today. We're just going to be looking forward.
Hey, Denny, it's DW. Do these controversies, the things that take place off the racetrack, Do they come into your mind when you're out there driving the race car? Like maybe I need to back off a little bit, be a little more comfortable?
No, not at all. I mean, my goal is to win. I'll do anything to do that. So it's, from my standpoint, there's nothing off the racetrack that affects me once I strap in and put on my helmet. So, really, I'm comfortable with who I am and where I'm at in this sport.
Well, have a good race today, and a happy Easter to you and your family, too, Denny. Thanks.
Good luck today, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, he's got to hop in the truck, get ready to go fast, maybe 210 miles per hour. If you think you know something about speed, buckle up your seatbelt and play AT&T's Fastest Driver Challenge. Simply call **FAST from your mobile phone to predict who will have the fastest times in the race today. It's all brought to you by the nation's fastest 4G LTE network, AT&T. Rethink possible. Just heard from Denny Hamlin. Who else you going to hear from down on the grid? Michael Waltrip is wandering around down there, and we'll have more with him looking okay in just a moment. In Southern California, 7 drivers from the state of California in the race today, the most from any one state. Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick among those, and you heard from Jimmy Johnson just a little bit earlier. Guys worth keeping an eye on. Darrell and I will be keeping an eye on Michael, who wandered out of our studio down on the track with a microphone. That's trouble with the drivers live. Let's go down to Michael. Michael, what's going on?
Hey, Jeff. How you doing, bud? Have a good race. Have fun. Jeff Gordon just said hi to me. He waved at me and said hi. Hey, look, John Force is here.
Hey.
Welcome to NASCAR, bud.
Hey, NASCAR, we're out here at Auto Club Raceway, but we're really excited. We love NHRA, but we love what you do, and I love your TV stuff.
Well, I appreciate it. These boys are going to go 210 today. That's nothing, though, is it? He goes 330 or 40. Let's see who else we can find. The fans are here. How's everybody doing? Have fun. Hey, I found Chad Knaus. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Michael, good, man. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Jimmy said on the TV earlier he hadn't found the speed he's looking for. Did you fix it overnight?
I hope so. We stayed up all night trying to get it figured out. We're really excited about the Jimmy Johnson Foundation Chevrolet. It's a great racetrack. It's a beautiful day, so we're looking for a lot of fun today.
I love California. Awesome. Let's see who else we can find. Hi, guys. How's the car running? You happy? Hey, Jamie McMurray, how's it going? This is some of the best hair in NASCAR.
I appreciate that. I didn't really put much effort into it today, but I appreciate you thinking that.
I meant this hair.
Well, I don't know about that hair.
Have fun. How's the McDonald's car?
Yeah, well, it's Bass Pro this weekend, but I appreciate you saying McDonald's. It's going to be a good day for us. Yep.
I'm sponsor friendly. I know you've got one on there. You need to talk about them all. How are you doing? How's Casey running?
I wouldn't know.
Well, we'll find. I'll see who does. Hey, Dale Jr., how you doing? Mind if I say hello? Michael, walking the grid. How you been, bud?
I'm doing all right, man. How's your walk?
It's fun. I got on these nice shoes. They're very comfortable, and I'm able to make a lot of ground. I hope you have a great race today. That was Dale Earnhardt Jr., NASCAR's most popular driver. You can hear all the fans. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Coming up upon Kevin Harvick. He's on the phone. Is that Delana?
That's Delana, yeah. Say hi, Delana.
That's Delaney. He's talking to his wife, and we're catching it live. I feel like Kenny Wallace, live on national TV with Kevin Harvick.
You look good. You like your shirt today.
Thank you. I put a lot of thought into it. The weather's perfect. I know you love being back in California. Have a great race.
Thank you.
Oh, Chris, I think I have to go now. I like this guy. Maybe he'll win today.
All right. Hey, now he's the owner.
I'm your owner
of that team.
So is he?
Good luck with that, Clint.
Awesome. There's the owner. The other owner.
That's the real owner. I know Michael said he lost his wallet the other day. I said, if there's money in it, it's not yours. All right, walking with the stars. All right, time for gas to go. You're on the clock, Darrell. Tony Stewart, question number 1. He's won 2 of the last 3 California races, but you know he's struggling. We said he's out of the top 25 in points. Can he get it turned around today?
I know they're working on a lot of new things, Addington and him are, but also when you're struggling, you look for places on the schedule where you think you can make a turnaround. And this is one of Tony's best tracks. If he's going to make a turnaround, he better do it today.
Yeah, usually a slow starter, strong finisher. All right, Greg Biffle, he had the engine problem here. Quietly 5th in points, but he doesn't have a top 5 finish so far. Should he be confident or concerned at this point?
Well, here's the thing about Biffle. He drives so hard, and this new car is fast. You're back in the throttle all the time. If there's going to be an engine problem, if there's going to be any problem at all, Biffle will find it. But he is a wheel man. I love the way he drives. If he doesn't have any mechanical failures, keep an eye on Biffle.
You'll talk to him on the pace laps coming up. Is battling it out on Twitter a good or a bad thing?
Oh, man. I love Twitter. You know, I'm on there every day.
Yes,
I do a lot of
tweeting. Your handle?
Yeah, at all Waltrip.
Okay.
At all Waltrip. But I don't think drivers need to be airing out their differences on Twitter.
Okay.
I think that's something you do like Richard Petty used to do me. Had the longest index finger in the business. Walk up and poke you in the chest and say, look here, boy. we're going to get something straight.
Easy, my wardrobe. Okay. As far our Twitter question, so we think it's a good thing from Crush23, Doug Parker. Thanks for sending it in. If Joey dumps Denny today, fair or foul?
Well, now, here's the deal. You wouldn't want to dump him today. See, what Joey wants to do is make Denny think it's all over. But we got a week off. Then we get to Martinsville. That little half-mile racetrack, that's where you get him back.
All right, so that's Logano going at it with Hamlin. And now, does Kyle Busch have the ability to hold it together for a full season? At the top of the show, we talked about the pit road issues he's had, but he's been fast. He's led races.
Ever since Kyle got parked in that truck race, he's been a different Kyle. He knew that he almost lost his job. He almost lost his sponsor. And he's had a chance this year to have a couple of meltdowns, and he's handled it very maturely. I think the Kyle Busch that we're seeing right now has championship potential.
All right, good. He missed the chase last year. And we've had 4 different winners so far, right, in the first 4 races. Might see a 5th different winner. Who are you keeping your eye on?
Yeah, I think so. I think today might be Clint Bowyer's day.
Clint Bowyer. We just saw Clint Bowyer talking with Michael Waltrip. And I've heard guys talking about side drafting, that we may see more of that in this race today than we have seen so far.
That big spoiler on the back is going to make a huge draft.
All right, Daryl's going to head upstairs to join Larry and Mike. Michael Waltrip will wander back in here. We'll get you ready to crank those engines. You're watching NASCAR on Fox. Montana, California, part of the Inland Empire, about 50 miles from Los Angeles. Getting ready to go 200 laps, 400 miles with NASCAR on Fox. So let's go trackside and pause for our invocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your hats as the Charlie Company Recruiting and Retention Battalion, California Army National Guard present our nation's colors. And please remain standing as Jeff Hamilton from Motor Racing Outreach delivers today's invocation.
Good afternoon. Let's pray together. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather today as a celebration of life, to celebrate all the things that we love and that we enjoy. We're also aware of how quickly life changes, so we remember those we've lost, and we're grateful for the sacrifice of many. So watch over our armed forces, the first responders in all of our communities. Protect the competitors in today's race. Thank you for our sponsors and staff that have made it possible. Today we celebrate the life you've given to us. Let us live it for your glory. In Christ's name, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome multi-platinum recording artist, the Tenors, for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Drivers, family, and friends ready to go. There's Joey Logano, starts a row behind Denny Hamlin. Keep an eye on that. Tony Stewart won it last year. Jimmy Johnson has won here 5 times. Greg Biffle, who won here in 2005 moments ago, getting through inspection, being pushed out to the grid. Fastest, by the way, in the first practice yesterday. This year, Fox Sports Supports is proud to partner with Stop Out Bullying, the leading national anti-bullying organization for kids and teens in the U.S. Stop Out Bullying deters violence in schools and online and helps at-risk students. You can help by going to stopoutbullying.org. Back in our mobile studio trackside, Michael has rejoined us. It was fun out there with the drivers. We saw you go by Dale Earnhardt Jr., who, from a consistency standpoint, is off to the best four-race start of his career.
Yeah, and I really liked his vibe, Chris. He seemed calm, cool, and collected. We talked about how focused that young man is this year. You could really tell that he had a presence about him that was ready to race.
Even though we've had different drivers win this year, obviously the Hendrick drivers with Casey Kane and Jimmy Johnson, they've won twice. For Junior, consistency, his workmanship with Steve Letarte, his crew chief, has gone very well.
Yeah, and he's been good on these 2-mile tracks. Remember his last win at Michigan, he really dominated up there. So this is a chance for him to drive on this track and get another win.
He's going for his 6th straight top 10 finish going back to last year. That would equal a career best for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Let's head down trackside here at the Auto Club racetrack for the command.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the most famous words in motorsports. To give that command, please welcome the stars of the upcoming Paramount Pictures movie, GI Retaliation, opening March 28th, Adrian Palicki and DJ Catrona.
Drivers, start your engines!
That Retaliation movie, I hope that's not talking about Logano and Hamlin, but we'll keep a close watch. The guys are outside today enjoying a splash of sun before they head into the booth. So let's go up to Darrell, Larry, and Mike.
Well, thanks, Chris, and who wouldn't be? It's a beautiful day in sunny Southern California, and we are grateful for it. This speedway is the fastest we've been to since Daytona, and corner entry speeds may even be faster. It's more than 7 freeway lanes wide, twice as wide at Bristol, Darrell. You haul off there at 200 and, oh my gosh, miles per hour.
Yeah, and Mike, therein lies some concern. It's some of those unintended consequences. This car is much faster. The pace is much faster. We're qualifying with faster speeds. The pace in the race is much quicker. That's putting a lot of stress on these engines. We've already seen a couple of guys have to go to the rear, Biffle and Keselowski. There's concern that the RPM that we see at this racetrack may be a little bit more than they anticipated. We might see some engine issues today.
And Larry, it's a good thing that this track is more than 7 lanes wide, because 2 of the fastest cars here are starting in the caboose of this train.
Yeah, we know by virtue of qualifying and practice, we have a lot of fast drivers with fast race cars in this field of 43, but the 4 fastest, they're at opposite ends of the starting field. Joe Gibbs Toyota drivers, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch on the front row. Darrell talked about the Ford drivers of Brad Keselowski, Greg Biffle, changed engines at the rear of the field. I promise you, it's not going to be a matter of, if they're going to get to the front, it's going to be when they get to the front. The other thing, Mike, restarts here couldn't be more exciting.
Well, use your turn signals, changing lanes. We're ready to race 400 miles in California live on Fox.
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, California style, boys!
It's one of the widest tracks in all of NASCAR, and they're using every inch of it.
This is when you give her all you got. We got battles all over this racetrack, and the fight is on.
NASCAR on Fox presents the Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola. Field begins to roll off. Let's have a look at today's Geico starting grid. Denny Hamlin has his 3rd pole here in the last 6 races. Greg Biffle has to go to the back due to the engine change. Brad Keselowski also to the back, same reason. Kyle Busch, first of his 24 Cup wins, came right here. Matt Kenseth, 3-time winner here. Joey Logano, 4th straight top 10 starts in California. Mark Truex Jr. has his season best start, and Tony Stewart, who's won 2 of the last 3 races here. Mark Martin and Kurt Busch are both past winners at Auto Club Speedway. California's Casey Mears has his best start of the season. They're with Juan Pablo Montoya. Clint Boyer's been at the top of the practice chart all weekend. Kevin Harvick, what a great win he had here in 2011. Exciting finish. Dale Jr., runner-up here in 06. To that man, Casey Kane, who starts right alongside. Jamie McMurray finished a season-best 10th last week. And Jimmy Johnson, 5-time winner at his home track. Jeff Gordon's a 3-time winner here. Ryan Newman, top 7 finish in the last 3 races on this 2-mile speedway. That's your top 20. Have a look back through the rest of the field.
Let's see if we can get the outside pole setter while he's up there. Greg Biffle, DW, got me, buddy?
I got you, DW.
Hey, Greg, a really fast pace here this weekend. Is your biggest concern your engine or having to fall to the rear?
Well, right now, my biggest concern is going to the back. It's, you know, it's a big racetrack. You're going to lose a lot of track position. It gets strung out. You know, we'll be half a lap behind real shortly into this event with the leaders in clean air. So just making up that track position is the main thing. And the thing is here, you can't really do 2 tires or stay out to make up track position. So it's going to be a difficult day to get us back up to the front.
All right, my friend. Well, you got a lot of cars to pass, and you're always fun to watch. You are truly my hero, a wheel man. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, DW. Appreciate it. And I know the fans will get a good show out of it.
Today's race brought to you by Budweiser, the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, fast finish. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Let's get out to pit road. Chris Devoto.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. off to the best start of his career. 4 races this season, 4 top 10s. Crew chief Steve Letarte says the key to their success, their batting average. By the way, Steve Letarte, a huge baseball fan. He says even if we miss a call, we have confidence in our chemistry. That could lead to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s first win of 2013.
Well, Krista, Matt Kenseth off to a good start, but this is just his 5th race with Joe Gibbs Racing. They've got a win under their belts, but crew chief Jason Ratcliffe told me when they left the track yesterday, he wasn't sure just how good this racetrack is, but Matt Kenseth can make up some of that difference, as Mike Joy said, a 3-time winner, but with this bright, beautiful sunshine beating down on the racetrack, the track is an unknown. Matt Kenseth isn't. Let's go to Matt Yocum.
Steve, this could definitely be a benchmark-type day for defending series champion Brad Keselowski. Now, he qualified 3rd, and as Mike Joy mentioned, he'll be dropping to the back. But there's not a lot of concern in the Keselowski camp. His car was a rocket in practice during both practice sessions when we had different temperatures. He told me right now there is no game plan going in. They're just going to call audibles throughout the first 2 stages of this race, trying to get the Blue Deuce to the front. And Jeff Hammond, I think you've got the best seat in the house.
I sure hope so, Matt. The field has just gone by here. I'm right in the middle of 3 and 4. I can see them coming in, and I can see them leaving exit of turn 4. But, folks, today, the guy who goes to victory lane, it's all going to be about attitude. We've heard the word fun. He'll have a lot of fun out there today, challenging this racetrack, which has got a lot of character because of the scene, the bumps down the back straightaway. But one of the drivers told me when they dropped the green flag, we're not worried about that. We're just worried about hitting our marks and getting the job done. Mike?
Thanks, Jeff. 1 lap and we'll be racing. You see Greg Biffle dropping to the rear. Brad Keselowski already there. And don't worry for them. Keselowski won at Talladega in 2009 after an engine change. From the back, Biffle has also won after having to go to the back of the field. A light LA haze, but otherwise it couldn't be a better day for racing. The air temperature's broken through 70 degrees. It'll get a little warmer before we're done. The asphalt is 112, a light breeze. Out of the west, very light. We'll go 200 laps, 400 miles.
Hit road speed 55 miles per hour in the fuel window for Sunoco race fuel, 36 to 40 laps.
And you watch that 16 car. He will slice and dice his way to the front.
Today's aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything we learn making tires that face the grueling demands of NASCAR inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. With the 2 cars dropping to the rear, that'll move Kyle Busch up to the outside of the front row and Matt Kenseth right behind Denny Hamlin. So all 3 of those fast Toyotas will be starting all right in one pack, and there Martin Truex right with them. Hamlin has elected the outside lane for the start of this race. That is the pole sitter's prerogative.
Yeah, a lot of momentum on that outside. Makes a lot of sense. All right, folks, come on, get up off your seat. Get up on your feet. Look at him, look at him, look at him. Let's go racing, boys.
3 and 4 wide mid-pack. Who is going to lead this first lap? Joe Gibbs Racing 1, 2, 3. That's Kenseth inside. The 11 of Hamlin. And Busch way up top.
Coach Gibbs says just how I drew it up.
You're riding with Martin Truex Jr. in a 56 car, another Toyota in fourth. A Toyota has never won a Sprint Cup Series race here at Auto Club Speedway.
And all the way down on the apron were the 2 of Keselowski and the 16 of Biffle. They have gained 8 positions at the conclusion of lap 1, and they keep coming.
You know, I talked about pace in the opening, and one of the things that NASCAR and I think the teams are starting to really look at is the gear ratios that we're pulling in these cars. They may need to make an adjustment in the future because of such higher speeds and higher RPM.
You saw the speeds right there going off into turn 3, over 200 miles per hour on teammates Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch.
They are second and third, Logano fourth, and here comes Busch to the inside and his number 18.
They fan out like a covey of quails when they go off into turn 1.
But just look at the different racing groups that they already can run here, and we're not even to lap 5, especially through 1 and 2. You see the battle right here for 6. Kurt Busch in the 78 car got that top 5 at Bristol, and Mark Martin in the 55.
Montoya joins them, looking for the bottom, but Martin had it covered. Hendrick teammates, 3 of them under a blanket. Earnhardt, Johnson, Kane, and Gordon, all 4.
I know this is a big wide racetrack. It looks like it'd be pretty easy, but there is so much finesse in working the throttle and running the groove that your car is handling in. That's what's difficult to find early on. Where is my car work the best? On the bottom, like Jimmy Johnson, 48 and the 5 of Kane, or on the outside, like the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the 24 of Jeff Gordon?
And that could change as you get into a run.
Oh, sure, the track will get a little rubber on it, and the groove will move around, and you got to be willing to search around, hunt around, find where your car works best. Hamlin's going to the top.
And look who's right with him. Joey Logano on the bottom.
It's the way it always works.
And this is the way, if I were Joey Logano, this would thrill me to death. I would want to stay right in that 11's rearview mirror as long as I could. And maybe even pass him if I got a chance.
Or aggravate him.
Definitely aggravating.
24, Jeff Gordon on the bottom with Carl Edwards, and they pick up Paul Menard, and Menard almost had contact there with the 51 of Allmendinger.
But you see Marcus Ambrose in that 9 car right in front of Paul Menard and A.J. Allmendinger. The run he got on the high side of 1 and 2, and he just rockets down the back straightaway.
That outside is such a big sweeping turn when you're up high, and you're backing the gas so much quicker when you're high. You get a lot of speed off the corner down the straightaway.
Ambrose got a little loose, and here comes the dinger on the bottom.
Again, that's not unusual to see some of these cars maybe a little ill to start with. Air pressure low. Everything's kind of got to come up to race pace.
Jeff, how are those 2 Fords doing from the back of the pack?
They're coming right now, Mike, and they're using every inch of this racetrack. First time by the 2 car, he was already they were down below the apron trying to make a pass on the 16. They've been going back and forth. 1 lap, the 16 is on the bottom side. The next lap, he's on the top. And I'm talking about Greg Biffle and Greg Keselowski. They're putting on quite a show, making these cars work around California Speedway right now.
Oh, you can get up to about 20th, but from there on it gets a little wee bit tougher.
Menard, Ambrose, Allmendinger. And Allmendinger's car a little loose there, the 51. Have a look at them as they came off turn 4.
You see right away, A.J. Allmendinger in the 51 dives back in behind Marcus Ambrose. These cars are making a huge weight with that big spoiler on the back of them. Really easy to draft a car.
5th place. Mark Truex's Toyota has been caught by Kurt Busch. Kasey Kahne, Jeff Gordon, intramural battle among the Hendrick Chevys.
You see how Kasey does that sweep down into the corner? You run that late entry, turn down and get a good run down the hill into the turn.
But you see Tony Stewart there in the 14 car, started 6th. He's almost fallen outside the top 15. The driver on the move, though, is that 22 car of Joey Logano, went by Denny Hamlin for 3rd, and now he's all over the back of Kyle Busch, another former teammate, for 2nd.
Matt Kenseth, your leader by 0.7 of a second. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
Millions of fans, one family. It takes truly unlimited data to feed a family this large.
Let's go places. Not just the ones you can find on a map, but the ones you can find in your heart. Because inspiration doesn't favor those who sit still. It dances with the daring and rewards the courageous with ideas. Ideas that inspire. Ideas that take you places you never imagined. Ideas big enough to make the heart skip a beat. And in some cases, maybe 2. Toyota, let's go places.
Get in. Coca-Cola Racing Family Road Trip. 99 bottles of Coke on the wall. 99 bottles of Coke.
You got a left, then another left, and make a left after that one. Yeah! Whoa, taught her everything she knows.
Are we there yet?
As everybody knows, whenever Carl Edwards wins a race, he does his patented backflip. You ready?
Get down.
I got this.
Whatever.
Okay, Carl. This is for you, racing boy. Hey!
Subway keeps Carl Edwards' engine racing with his low-fat, protein-powered favorite, the Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki, made exactly the way he says with spinach, green peppers, and black olives.
I'm gonna jump off the car.
11 laps complete in the Auto Club 400, presented on Fox by Coca-Cola. And side by side, you saw the lead change as Kyle Busch passed his teammate Matt Kenseth. Denny Hamlin, the pole sitter, the 3rd Joe Gibbs Toyota, has slipped to 4th, 3.5 seconds off pace. Here are the Toyota top performers. And Hamlin retakes 3rd place from Joey Logano's Ford.
This is interesting. I like this. Hello. Remember me?
Kasey Kahne, Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards reprising that paint scheme that took him to victory lane in the 2nd race of the season at Phoenix.
Yeah, he said that uniform still smells like champagne. He liked that. He didn't even wash it.
They're racing for 14th. Carl is on the list of biggest movers in the first 12 laps. Now, no surprise that Keselowski and Biffle from the tail end of the field have each gained 12.5 or more spots, but Edwards +8.
You know, you saw Jeff Gordon. Look at these 2 right here, though. Joey Logano in at 22 and Denny Hamlin in 11. And of course, you guys talked about it in the pre-race. Go back to Bristol. Denny Hamlin's running 3rd. Joey Logano's running 2nd. Denny Hamlin pretty much dumped his former teammate in turn 2 late in the race.
Yeah, and Larry, the longer they run together like this, the less that feud becomes. Because there's a point in there when you start saying, okay, you're not going to do anything to me. I'm not going to do anything to you. Let's just be a couple of smart race car drivers here. We got a long way to go.
Now, Martinsville in 2 weeks on the half mile. Different story.
I'll be waiting for you.
Joey Logano's owner, Roger Penske, said this week, I'm okay for Joey Logano standing up for himself, but I want both of my drivers to remember the big picture.
this is the way you let a guy know that you're not happy with him. You hit the nail. This is what I used to do. You aggravate a guy. You just do everything you can to say, is he going to hit me or not? I think he scraped him right there.
That couldn't have got much closer.
And that's the doubt you want Denny Hamlin to have in his mind. Kind of like Clint Eastwood standing over, you know?
And at a racetrack where you're going over 200 miles per hour off in the corner.
And know it just takes a little touch to send you sailing.
I mean, was that 6 shots or 5?
Yeah, that's right. Have I fired 5 or have I fired 6?
They're 4.5 seconds behind Kyle Busch, the race leader, who is up 2 on Matt Kenseth, and here comes Keselowski. 18th place right here. Moves past Jr., draws a bead on Paul Menard. Keselowski's car has been fast all weekend, but Larry, after pre-qualifying practice, they found something in the electronic data stream that they didn't like.
Yeah, they had made a practice qualifying run. Practice was over, and they looked at the data and saw where it lost oil pressure, checked one of the filters in the oiling system and saw metal, had to change the engine. So no matter the rule, no matter when you change an engine, if you have to, during the course of the weekend, you go to the rear of the field.
You know, Larry, one thing we're going to hear before this day is over with is I think I scraped the wall, because they're riding the wall around here like we're at Darlington. And you're going to get into that wall every now and then. Trust me.
Kurt Busch just ahead of Clint Boyer. Boyer in 6th after starting 11th, Steve.
Mike, we're starting to hear feedback from the drivers now. Clint Boyer saying, my car is loose on entry into the corners.
Well, this is definitely the hottest day that we've had all weekend. I mean, it's been nice here, but this is the hottest. The other thing the drivers are not having to deal with today that they had the first 2 days, the wind's not blowing like it was.
Yeah, it's pretty calm out there right now, at least wind-wise.
Identical appearing but unrelated cars of Kyle Busch and Mike Bliss. Bliss going a lap down in his number 19. And Kyle running away from Matt Kenseth in his number 18. Both Toyotas. Kyle now with a 2.4 second lead over this man, Matt Kenseth. And boy, what a fantastic start to the season Kenseth has had, as 5th place changes hands. Clint Boyer passing Joey Logano.
I like Boyer. I like the way he looked in practice. He always fast, one of the faster cars.
And here comes Kane.
He's going somewhere.
Going for 12th against Tony Stewart after passing Montoya. Harvick passing Logano. That's for 6th place. And out in front of them all, yesterday's winner here, Kyle Busch.
You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
The Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola, is sponsored by Sprint. Millions of fans, one family. Only Sprint can feed them all. Join the family at sprint.com/speed.
After 22 green flag laps, let's have an inside look at what's happening in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, brought to you by Sprint. Brad Keselowski up 28 positions for where he had to start in the back due to the engine change, is the biggest mover so far. Get unlimited access to NASCAR with the NASCAR Mobile 13 app and truly unlimited data from Sprint. Learn more at sprint.com/speed.
Say the way Brad Keselowski is picking them up and laying them down right now, we're probably about 14 to 15 laps from green flag stops. He'd love to see this run out as a green flag run.
Yeah, I think so, Larry.
One change in the top 5. Kevin Harvick is the new 5th place car behind Busch, Kenseth, Hamlin, and Boyer. Kurt Busch back to 6th. Took 17 laps for Keselowski and Biffle to make it from 42nd and 3rd into the top 20.
You know, back to Kevin Harvick in that 29 that just cracked the top 5, started back in the 12th position. Really impressed with the way they acclimated their practice yesterday. He didn't get worried about how many laps was on his tires. He just kept making a lot of long runs.
Ninth place, Mark Martin, Jimmy Johnson. Johnson has come from 16th to battle in the top 10.
Yeah, Mark was the fastest car in their second practice yesterday. Got a battle here between teammates. Going to slide right up in front of Matt Kenseth. That's teammates working together right there.
They trail Kyle Busch by 4 seconds. Danica Patrick 34th after starting 38th. Matt?
Mike, so far in 2013, Auto Club Speedway has been the biggest challenge for Danica Patrick on the schedule from the time they unloaded. She's been fighting a very tight race car up top, or when she tries to migrate down to the bottom to try to find more grip right now in the center of the racetrack. Her biggest problem, hindrance so far, has been DW talked about it on Saturday. So many options here to move your race car around depending on how it reacts. But when you're new to a place, having too many options can be a problem, and that's been what she's been struggling with most so far this weekend.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. slipping back, started 13th. He is now at 22nd place, Krista.
Mike, it may be a case of overcompensation. You know, they were really tight in practice yesterday. Right now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. so loose in and off the corners. He just came on the radio a few laps ago and said, I am sideways off the turn.
Appears that the extreme temperature that we have today, this track has a lot less grip, and a lot of drivers are fighting loose, the back end coming around.
You could hear it in the 88 car. He can't even touch the gas.
What's Kyle Busch thinking all alone out there in the lead?
Tell me what you got, bud. Cruising right now at lane number 4. It's a little at the end, not bad. But when I'm up in the top lane, it's all good. So I can't really tell you until I go back up there before we come in to tell you what I got. You know what I mean?
He puts a lap on Josh Wise from nearby Riverside, who had a great career in midgets and on the short tracks of Southern California before moving up to Sprint Cup. 29 laps complete. David Stremme has spun his Swan Racing Toyota, and that puts us under the first caution of the day. The pace car has gathered up the field. Pit road is open, and Kyle Busch leads them in. Steve Burns.
Mike, Matt Kenseth is saying that he has lost some rear grip on his number 20 car. He said, I've lost it on entry, I've lost it on exit, and I'm just a little snug in the center. 4 tires. Krista.
Kurt Busch having a great time in the race car right now, except for it being, like a lot of guys, a little bit loose. They're going to tighten it up with a track bar adjustment. You'll see him go down 2 rounds. Matt?
And the teammates, Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin, they're coming to a stop. Kyle said that he wanted a slight air pressure change in the right front. No chassis adjustments, though, for the 18. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin, he said he really needed to have his car tighten it up, especially on entry, because it was just not good cutting through the center of the corner.
Kyle leads the parade off pit road, followed by Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. So we're 30 laps of 200 in. Kyle Busch has led 20, Matt Kenseth 10.
The Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola, is sponsored by the Auto Club. We're always with you. By Chevy Silverado, the one you depend on, the one that lasts. And by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Coca-Cola, open happiness.
We're under caution, Darrell. Let's see what happened to David Stremme here.
He just gets up. He's up in the high lane, actually, and looks like the car comes around. I thought he had a right rear tire down, but I'm really not sure. It doesn't look like it from that angle.
The caution is a break for Josh Wise. He gets the free pass, gets back on the lead lap. During most of the last century, this land in Fontana was the site of the Kaiser Steel plant. They made the infrastructure for World War II Liberty ships here. And when the steel mill was decommissioned, the EPA labeled it a brownfield site unsuitable for most major development. Roger Penske bought the land and with Les Richter built Auto Club Speedway here in Southern California, where Kyle Busch is the leader, the first of 35 cars on the lead lap. 3 different leaders, including Travis Kvapil, under this caution period, which has lasted for 4 laps. So Josh Wise from Riverside is your Aaron's lucky dog. You don't need credit. All you need is Aaron's. And we're ready to go back to green.
You saw in our graphic when these drivers left pit road, looked like the real loser was Matt Kenseth in that 20 car. He's in that first pit box coming in, but lost a couple of spots.
Kenseth will restart 6th. 3 Toyotas, a Chevy, and a Ford in the top 5. Green flag.
We talked about it at the top of the show. Restarts can be mighty exciting here.
Those guys back. Ooh.
Whoa, Kurt Busch way to the bottom.
Ooh. That's one of those, excuse me, coming through. Of course, you see who he took advantage of.
That was lane 0 down there.
But just like everywhere else, with the exception of Daytona and Talladega, no out of bounds below that white line.
But that little 78 car of Kurt Busch, that thing has been on the move. He's running good. He had a great finish last week, finished 4th. That team has really found its legs here lately.
A lot of jostling through the field.
Holy cow, they're in the grass, almost.
But somehow they tend to squeeze out of turn 4. Single file for the most part. Logano side by side with Kenseth in the 20, who may have brushed the wall coming off turn 4. That's the first side by side battle. Edwards 3 wide, stuck in the middle there, with Johnson in the 48 below him. Carl Edwards up high.
Let's go back and look at that restart one more time and see what really created all that action going down into turn 1. Watch the second car in line right there. That's the 29 car of Kevin Harvick. He goes, and then I think he woes up and gets into the back of the 11 right there. That creates an accordion effect. Of course, that opened the door for Kurt Busch in his 78 to go down on the apron and force his way right by Joey Logano.
Clint Boyer got a shot from Matt Kenseth in that 20 car as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of stopping and going there. Not intentional, unintentional, but that caused almost a big mess.
Darrell, could what have caused that been just as simple as Hamlin shifting gears, losing his acceleration as he goes to high gear?
Yeah, you know, possibly. You just don't know, Mike, but there's a lot of games being played. There's a lot of gamesmanship on these restarts right now, and I know NASCAR is looking at that pretty closely.
Check with Krista.
Well, Mike, just a split second before that move happened, Kurt Busch came on the radio and said, whoa, they're pushing down here. But the crew is fired up when they saw Kurt make that move and not give an inch as Kurt came by their pit box. Everyone up against the wall cheering him on.
Uh-oh. Timmy Hill goes kaboom. That is Frank Stoddard's car. That number 32 Ford with Hill making his first start of the season. And just moments ago, watch this coming off turn 4.
And this is what happens at this racetrack, particularly off the corner here. This track, you see Biffle, he gets into the back of Jeff Gordon in the 24. You start to push out here, and you run so fast, you run out of racetrack. If somebody's alongside of you, sometimes you can't help but get into them.
Kyle Busch leads him to the caution flag, second one of the day, as Timmy Hill has problems under the hood of his highway patrol looking number 32.
We had only run 3 laps since that restart. We've got basically 36 drivers on the lead lap. I think most everybody up in the top 20 will stay out, but I'd say some of these drivers that are at the back of the lead lap cars, they'll hit pit road more adjustments.
The 78 car has got quite a bit of damage to the right side of it. I don't know when that happened, but he's got damage on the right side. 78 of Kurt Busch.
We're riding with Clint Boyer. And you heard the noise when Clint got up there to the wall. It's Kurt Busch behind him.
That was a pretty hard lick.
It surely sounded like it, Larry. I don't know. It's on the straightaway. Sometimes it's puzzling.
Matt?
Kyle Busch telling Dave Rogers that after he drove over Timmy Hill's oil, and all of a sudden the car started to get very loud inside the cockpit, so he's not really sure what could be going on with his 18 machine right now. He continues talking to Dave.
That's probably what happened to Clint Boyer, obviously, in the 15 car, the same thing.
Well, the 78's got damage on the right side as well. I saw that when he went by, so I'm not sure. There's a lot of action on that back straightaway.
Kind of happened in that same area.
Yeah, I think so.
J.J. Yaley's number 36 will get the free pass. Boyer and Kurt Busch are among those coming to pit road for repairs. Steve?
Clint Boyer into his pit box. Kind of surprised they're in, Mike, but just the call here, 4 tires and fuel. They're going to take some tape off. Krista.
Steve, Kurt Busch also concerned with the damage on the right side of his car. He said both tires were pancaked. On a scale of 1 to 10, the hit was about a 5. The front end, though, looks good. Matt?
And what a huge move by Brad Keselowski at the back. He hit road in the 10th position. 4 tires for him, and they really didn't make any adjustments on the Blue Deuce because he was back in traffic. The balance was good. He wanted to wait for maybe another stop before they make any more adjustments, the 2.
Based on what I'm seeing there, you see Kasey Kahne here in the 5. We're watching Mark Martin in the 55, Clint Bowyer. It looks like a lot of drivers maybe hit that oil and got into that wall.
They did, Larry. A number of cars with right side damage.
Yeah, they're all pulling on that right front fender, trying to get it away from the tire. You see them using a baseball bat to pry the fender away from the tire on Mark Martin's car. So Timmy Hill loses an engine and a number of cars get banged up here in Fontana.
I'm Miss Spring Cup, and you're watching the NASCAR Spring Cup Series on Fox.
40 laps in under our second caution of the Auto Club 400. Time for an AT&T race break, brought to you by the nation's largest 4G LTE network, AT&T Rethink Possible. Timmy Hill in the 32 Oxy Water car has problems, and the oil brings the caution out. And check out the cars, Michael, going against the wall.
Yeah, you can see our first 2 guys, Kyle and Denny, weren't up high, but Bowyer was the first one off turn 2 running high. He got in the wall, followed by Kurt Busch behind him. Kenseth barely misses. There goes our defending champion, Brad Keselowski, into the wall. Look at Mark Martin, Kasey Kahne. All these guys were running high on the track, Chris, and they hit that oil, and they didn't have any idea that it was there.
Kasey Kahne trying to win back-to-back races for the first time in his career. So is it a matter of where you were, wrong place, wrong time? Why could people at home say, hey, just steer away from it?
Yeah, they were running 200 miles an hour, by the way, when they got near that area, and the oil was up high right where some of the guys' grooves were. I guarantee you Clint Bowyer was shocked when his car shot into that outside wall. Had no idea why that would happen.
The repairs going on, and certainly we had Brad Keselowski talk about coming into the race, side drafting, side-by-side racing with the kind of repairs going on those cars. And we counted 7 or 8 of them, and you just saw some headline drivers. What kind of effect will it have going forward?
Well, I think for the most part, those guys will be okay, except Bowyer. He was the first one there, and he hit it the hardest. He could have had some chassis damage. We've seen how tough these new Generation 6 cars are. Not only are they lighter and faster and more aerodynamic, they seem like they're more resilient. They bounce off the wall and keep going. The problem I see with Bowyer was possibly right front suspension damage.
Let's get more on Clint Bowyer with Steve Burns.
And Chris, short term, what Clint Bowyer is worried about is a tire rub. When he came down pit road, he asked if the tires were still inflated that they took off. And again, his immediate concern is a tire rub.
Thank you, Steve. And race fans, you think you know something about speed, buckle your seatbelt and play AT&T's Fastest Driver Challenge. Simply call **FAST from your mobile phone and predict who will have the fastest time today. Brought to you by the nation's fastest 4G LTE network, AT&T Rethink Possible. Kyle Busch, who won the nationwide race on this track yesterday, has led the most laps. Joe Gibbs Racing, however, has never won a race in the 15 years of running a cup race on this particular track. Let's head back upstairs to Mike Joy.
Thanks, Chris. So the 6 drivers who received some damage getting into the wall from Timmy Hill's engine: Kasey Kahne, Kurt Busch, Mark Martin, Clint Bowyer, Jeff Gordon, and Brad Keselowski. They'll be restarting toward the back, and they were all running between 5th and 14th.
Keep an eye on that guy right there. He hit the wall too, and he's got damage. He did not come to the pit. Not sure why.
So the top 15 stayed out under this second caution, which came out at lap 36.
And that was really no surprise, because I mentioned if you didn't have damage, we only had 3 laps on the tires since that last restart.
But that just shows you how unpredictable racing can be. You know, another guy's problems creates problems for you, and you just can't ever predict that.
And creates opportunity for others. Kyle Busch is again elected the outside as the Toyota Camry pace car goes to pit road. His teammate Denny Hamlin alongside. Hamlin's nemesis Joey Logano in row number 2. There's the restart box that's in that area. Kyle Busch has to hit the gas and go. And here's Logano right up against his bumper as they roll off to turn 1.
Boy, Logano was looking for that way outside. Didn't quite have the room. He's going down on the bottom in turn 1.
Harvick up the outside, past Hamlin. Logano on the inside. He comes like a rocket out of turn 2.
He's got to run down that back straightaway.
Well, we've watched Joey Logano all weekend long, and he has been fast. But I tell you, Kevin Harvick in that 29 He's wanting a little bit of this action.
Logano trying to become the third driver to lead under the green flag today. It's a dead heat as they come off turn 4. It's Busch at the line.
For Kyle Busch, that's about as bad a situation arrow-wise you can be in. You got a car to your left, you got a car down right behind you. Really moves your car around quite a bit. They're sorting it out down the back now.
Let's ride with Logano on the restart. He has the lead now for the first time today. Coming to green.
You hear that wheel spin?
Kyle wasn't going to give him the outside. But he had no reluctance, Darrell, slicing to the bottom right across the bow of Denny Hamlin.
No, he didn't. I think you see he's leading the race now. I think he knew this is my time. I got to go now.
Trouble continues for Kasey Kahne. It's a whole windshield tear-off, it looks like. That is covering about half of the grill opening on his car.
Came off somebody's car up in front of him, and they normally put several layers on the windshield, and they'll just tear them off as they need to, but you can see it. But what he's trying to do, he got it off. He got up behind A.J. Allmendinger, that 51, that changed the air pressure on the nose of that car and basically sucked that tear-off off.
Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart fight for ninth behind Martin Truex and ahead of Carl Edwards. Nice drive for rookie Ricky Stenhouse leading this pack in his Roush Fenway Ford. 7th place right now after starting 29th.
Kid's doing a really nice job. I mean, he's just keeping his nose clean, and he and his team have really done a nice job.
Okay, he comes in here 11th in the points. He's completed every single lap of the first 4 races this year.
Tony Stewart gets by on the bottom. Krista.
Martin Truex Jr. started off this race tight in the center, snappy loose off so bad so he said back on lap 27 he was, quote, struggling, but he's been able to get the adjustments made on the car. Right now just a little bit loose in, but he's moving up through the pack.
2nd place. Well, Toyota's battle, Matt.
Mike Busch had his teammate Denny Hamlin pull up alongside under that last caution, look at both the right and left sides of his car just to check and see if maybe a crush panel in the wheel well area might have been knocked loose. Denny did say those look fine, but part of the rocker panel near the back had started to peel back, but they said it should not be an issue at all. They won't even need to put bear bond on it.
That 18 car, once he can get to the top, I mean rim riding the top, that's his groove, man. He can make some pretty good time up there.
Just look at the 4 different grooves the 3 Joe Gibbs drivers and Kevin Harvick are running through 3 and 4.
That's 4 grooves and the apron.
Bunch of freeway flyers right there.
That's that run that Kyle gets off of the high, coming off the high side of the racetrack. He really gets momentum down the straightaway. He's able to make a pass.
Harvick trying to work his way through the middle. In 2 weeks, something completely different. The paperclip shaped half-mile Martinsville Speedway. Always enjoy going there. Steve?
An update on Kevin Harvick. You see Matt Kenseth go by him. On the last pit stop on lap 30, they made no adjustments to that 29 car. It is a brand new race car for Kevin Harvick. Crew Chief Gil Martin said Kevin really liked it in both practices yesterday.
Thanks, Steve. And here's Dale Earnhardt Jr. Krista, he's fought his way back up into the top 10.
He absolutely has. Right now he's getting cheerleading from his crew chief Steve Letarte, telling him what a great job he's doing. The right side of his car is tore up a bit, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. able to add some wedge on that last stop, and that is helping the handling immensely.
And he was one of the 15 drivers that elected to stay out on that last caution. We knew he fell back, but based on what Krista just said, sounds like the adjustments are going the right direction for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
He stayed out from 19th. And here's Joey Logano, your leader now by 2.5 seconds. Ford leading 3 Toyotas and Harvick's Chevrolet.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people that say that Joey Logano is a different guy this year, changing teams, going over with Penske. It's really made a difference in his attitude, and right now his driving style looks pretty good too.
And I'd say he's liking looking out that rearview mirror and seeing 3 Joe Gibbs drivers.
A lot of lanes to race on, to pass, or to block. We're at quarter distance in California.
The Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola, is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds.
54 laps complete. Enter for a chance to win an all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado LTZ, a VIP Chevy racing experience for 2, and a meet and greet with Chevy driver Tony Stewart. Visit thenewsilverado.com now to enter. Stewart restarted 16th. He was the first driver to come off pit road under the second caution, and he's marched up into the top 5.
You want to see what elbows up look like? There you are right there. He is working. That's as hard as I've seen Tony Stewart work in a race car in a long time, but he is really running well right now. But that's just how hard he's working in that race car.
Matt?
He told me earlier this morning at driver intros, Mike, that they've had good race cars this year, involved in a couple of crashes, but this is going to be one of those places where they can see where their program is definitely headed due to the fact he's won here the past couple of times. Stewart took 2 tires in that last stop. He said his car was just too tight in the center, but that was manageable, but it was definitely free on exit.
Yeah, you can just tell he's pretty guarded. I mean, he's on top of the wheel in case that thing does something he doesn't expect, unexpected.
Brad Keselowski, defending series champ and our point leader in the number 2. He has come from the back, as we've documented. He also pitted at lap 38 and has come up to 12th.
He's trying to accomplish something that's not been accomplished since 1995, and that's where the champion going into the next season scored 5 consecutive top 5s. Dale Earnhardt Jr. did it after winning the championship in 1994. Dale Earnhardt Sr.
It still fascinates me when people say, why would they have made the change to a different manufacturer? But the results are speaking for themselves. And I always say this, I give a lot of credit to Roger Penske. He's a visionary. He saw what they needed to do to make their team better. And Brad is his man. They get along really, really well. And he listens to Brad a lot.
Penske Racing has 2 victories here at Auto Club Speedway. Both came with Fords before they went to Dodge. And Dodge wants back in the sport. Their management, their dealers, they want to be here. But when Penske made the decision early last year to change to Ford for 2013, the Dodge folks felt they were unable to sign a top quality team to continue, so they're taking some time off. I think they'll be back.
Here goes Tony Stewart around Matt Kenseth there. That 14 car is fast right now.
Jamie McMurray started 15th today, and Steve, he's climbed to 7th.
Hey, he's doing a nice job, Mike. His crew chief, Kevin Manion, just said, hey, man, I'm proud of you. You're doing a great job. To which Jamie replied, 10-4, thank you. Got to tell you, though, the car's gotten too loose for me right now.
It just appears the change that they made during the offseason, going to the Hendrick engine package, it has brought this operation to life. He and his teammate, Juan Pablo Montoya.
Well, Larry, when you go to it with an engine manufacturer like Hendrick, you don't just get engines. They want to make sure that when they put that engine in your race car, it runs as you get the most out of it you can. That even includes helping you with your car.
Casey Kane and teammate Jimmy Johnson for 13th behind Clint Boyer. And here comes the Biff. You got to admire these drivers in general, and Greg Biffle in particular. He had a top 3 lap in the first practice. They lost an engine after 6 laps on the track, put a new bullet in it, and said, Greg, there's 5 minutes left in practice. Do your best. Wham! Flat out and right back up into the top 5. Seen it do it before when they had problems before qualifying. Greg, here's a car you've never driven. Hop in it and go get us a good qualifying lap. Bam! This guy's a wheel.
Oh, he is. I remember when he used to run the Nationwide Series, he would go to racetracks that he hadn't been there for practice. He hadn't been there for anything. He'd get in the car and go sit on the pole, or he'd get in the car and start the rear and win the race. I'm serious when I tell you he is a wheel man.
Yes, sir. All right, one spot in front of him. You're looking back at Biffle from Jimmie Johnson in 14th, Matt.
And Mike, you see Jimmie Johnson diving back down to the bottom. During the first 30 laps, that's where he was competing most of the time, and his car was impressive. But now he says the car has just gotten too tight through the center, and he just cannot get back in the gas. The back of the race car is out of the racetrack, so he cannot run the line that he would like. So right now, just soldiering on. And Biffle, his car rocketing to the front.
Did that car just step out, or did Greg Biffle give him a little help?
Well, let's take a look here and see. Biffle's down on the apron, got a great run up off the corner. Jimmy's just a little bit loose. That is an area that this race car seems to be very sensitive to. When you get right along that left rear quarter panel, we saw it at Daytona. We saw it there. Really makes the car move around.
Jimmie Johnson in that 48, he's definitely been falling back, and he's probably going to be on pit road here in about 4 to 6 laps for a green flag stop.
Meanwhile, Joey Logano leads the Auto Club 400.
The Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola, is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places. By KFC, come in today and taste why fresh is better. And by AT&T, rethink possible. Chris Meyer is back here trackside. Jeff Hammond hanging out as Joey Logano leads through 66 laps. If you wonder what the former crew chief does when he's not chatting about the race of the cars, he's just, you know, hanging on, hanging around. Time for the Coca-Cola race summary here, and the 22 car, the 22-year-old in the Auto Club car, Joey Logano. So far, the leader here, cars on the lead lap is 35. We've had a couple of cautions that have covered 9 laps. That oil on the track hitting some of the big drivers as they scrape the wall. Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the Hendrick cars today. Not a whole lot of success. In fact, Jeff Gordon moments ago dropping back in the field. Some debate on whether or not he should pit in this race. But Joey Logano, let's check in first with Krista Vogt.
Well, Chris, right now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. saying the handling of his car is neutral. He is enjoying it. It's a new jack man jacking this car. Andrew Childers filling in for Nick Covey. Nick Covey expecting a baby at home.
Some pitted there. Race leader Joey Logano comes to pit road. Almirola's in. So is Burt. Martin Truex earlier. And Ambrose has made his green flag pit stop. David Gilliland, another local driver. With California roots getting service, Jamie Mack. Steve.
JD McMurray on pit road, and again, 4 tires for him. His car had gotten loose. Still trying to get the car to turn in the center. Matt?
And Joey Logano is in. The team going to work on the left side of the car. Joey needed more help on exit, more security. They made big headways from the first stop to this stop. Meanwhile, the 16 of Greg Biffle on the last stop, no changes. The car, if anything, was a tick on the tight side, but he felt like they dodged a huge bullet. If he'd been up in the high line, Krista, when he hit that oil, he said he definitely would have been in the fence.
Well, I'll tell you, when these guys put on tires, there's almost 3 seconds difference in their lap times.
Yeah, once Joey Logano hit pit road, our race leader before this, Matt, the rest couldn't be far behind.
Absolutely, Larry Mack, and they're already going to work on the left side of the 18 of Kyle Busch. He said that on this pass run, his car had lost so much more grip. Some air pressure changes. Meanwhile, his teammate Penny, he's on pit road as well. Hamlin said that his car wasn't bad on entry, just needed to turn better.
This has handed the lead to Kevin Harvick, and now Tony Stewart picks up the lead as we cycle through green flag pit stops. Steve,
I'll tell you what, Mike, this 29 car is so good. They've made no adjustments to it from the drop of the green flag, the exception of 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. Now, meanwhile, Carl Edwards on pit road, he's been battling a loose race car. He said we only fixed half of what we need on the last stop. 4 tires, Sunoco fuel, and an air pressure adjustment for Carl Edwards.
tough break for Kurt Busch. The 78 was too fast entering pit road. He exceeded the I can't drive 55 speed limit plus the 4.99 mile per hour grace period. So he has to do a pass through down pit road at pit road speed.
Now, Tony Stewart in the 14 on the left side of your screen. He has not made that green flag stop. He's leading the race, gets that point for leading. But as Darrell pointed out, he has given up so much time right now to those drivers that pitted 3 or 4 laps ago.
So it doesn't much matter that Stewart got his tires on the second caution 8 laps after most of the leaders. Oh boy, the speeding police have nabbed Kevin Harvick.
Well, this is an easy racetrack.
Exiting.
Entering and exiting these pits here is one of the easiest to do it on. You come down pit road, you get off of the track at such a high rate of speed, it's so hard to get wound up by that commitment line.
But we've been seeing this all year long. Drivers like Kyle Busch the last 2 races just trying to get all they can, getting on and off pit road.
Stewart's last lap 42.15.
Yep.
And Kyle Busch's last lap 40.35. That's almost 2 seconds.
Well, just look at Matt Kenseth in the 20 car drive by him. It almost looks like Tony's down a cylinder, and it's simply just a lack of grip in those tires.
Yeah, and you got to wonder about their game plan here. Now, you know, do we stretch the fuel out here? Or what are we trying to do? Get into some kind of a fuel window for our next stop? You never know what these guys are thinking.
That would have to be it, Darrell. He doesn't need fuel, but he could use some tires.
But it could build up an advantage if he can go this much further than everybody else over the long haul.
When Stewart's pit, when he pits on the left side of your screen, that could be the battle for the lead. Joey Logano's Ford against Kyle Busch's Toyota.
Well, what I'm also seeing is Matt Borland and Ryan Newman, Tony Stewart's teammate in that 39 car. They're running second right now. In fact, they just hit pit road, so they were on the same agenda essentially as Tony Stewart and his team.
So different fuel stop strategies. Krista.
And Ryan Newman has had a tough race so far. They needed to make an adjustment back on lap 37. They went the wrong way on that adjustment, so he's been dealing with a race car that is even more ill handling than it was to start. Right now, the call for 4 tires and more adjustments to give him that stability back.
And that seems to be the plan for all 3 Stewart-Haas cars. Because Newman just pitted, Tony Stewart and Danica Patrick are all still out on the racetrack.
And you know, back in the day, if the caution came out, there would only be 10 drivers on the lead lap. It'd be a beautiful thing. But with all the different rules we have now with the wave around, it's pretty much all for naught. I don't understand this strategy this early in the race.
You saw Tony's equivalent of a NASCAR-style turn signal pointing out the window net to anybody who might be behind that he's headed for pit road.
But I think I do understand it, Larry. I believe you're looking at this thing going green, green, green. Fuel mileage is huge. I think they're playing that game.
Kyle Busch, when he comes around, will take the lead from Tony Stewart. Matt?
And Steve Addington calling Tony into his box. Now, on their last stop, they made a chassis adjustment besides the air pressure change to try to help his car cut through the center of the corner. Big headway on that last run. You can see another slight adjustment to try to keep the car heading in that right direction. Locks arms, easy way.
Kyle Busch, who's led 70% of the laps raced here in the last 2 years, is out in front of Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Matt Kenseth.
The Auto Club 400 is presented by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Coca-Cola, open happiness.
79 laps complete under green. Kyle Busch leading Joey Logano. Here's today's Ford EcoBoost track facts. Ford has 10 Cup wins at Auto Club Speedway, and that is second among all manufacturers. Matt Kenseth won here from 31st in the spring of 2006, the furthest back in the field that a winner has started here. "80 laps down, and there's the gap first to second. Kyle Busch to Joey Logano. Then Hamlin, Earnhardt, and Kenseth are the top 5. Danica Patrick has now made her pit stop, and that means all the Stewart-Haas cars have been to pit road under this sequence.
I like what I'm seeing out of that 22 car, Larry. He can run the bottom. Yeah. And he really closes the gap on the 18 car, Kyle Busch. When he dives that thing to the bottom, he really, really makes up a lot of time.
So after that pit stop, Tony Stewart now stands 6th. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Catch up with Steve Addington. He's talking to Tony getting lap time. So explain your strategy early on in this race, pit wide.
Well, we had that caution and came and got right sides and topped off, so we were in a different window. Across our fingers, this thing goes back green. I think we're in a window to make it to the end.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that because they ran about 37 or 38 laps, which was right in the Sunoco fuel window that we talked about at the top of the show. If you backtrack from 200 laps, minus in 38 laps a run, you have to pit at 162, 124, and lap 86. They pitted at lap 75. I don't see the numbers working, but if they get a caution, then it's all for naught anyhow.
Well, they're going to gas mileage. They're going to improve it as they go along. Maybe.
And the pace is slowing down, so that improves fuel mileage.
So we'll see. Got to fight here for the lead. Boy, that 22 down here in 3 and 4 can get around the bottom of the racetrack. Can't. Yeah, I think he might get up there this time.
Boy, but Busch has the run off the corner and clears him.
That momentum off the high side of that corner really gives the 18 car Kyle Busch a lot of straightaway speed. But Logano, I'm watching him, and he just does this dive bomb right here. He goes to the bottom, really closes. Then it's a drag race up off the corner.
But that kid is fired up this year, Darrell. We got to remember he's only 22, but he's a 4-year veteran of the Sprint Cup Series. And I think this is the Joey Logano we've been looking for, the one that finished off that race at Bristol and got a good finish out of it after his car had been in the wall, and the one that's running hard for the lead here.
Yeah, I talked to Brad Keselowski, his teammate, and Brad said one of the things they were really focusing on was getting this 22 car to run like the 2 has been. The 2 had a little advantage early on, but they've made some great improvements with that team, that 22 car.
I said it all during the offseason. This is exactly what Joey Logano needed, a breath of fresh air. He'd been at Joe Gibbs Racing for 4 years. Just look at one, we know he went in there a year too soon, but there was no choice when Tony Stewart left. You go back a couple of years ago, he had to live with the whole season not knowing if Greg Zipadelli was staying or leaving, and was Carl Edwards taking his ride. And then he lived last year with Matt Kenseth coming to that ride basically half the season. So it's always been disjointed over there.
Apparently his teammates didn't like him too much either.
Welcome back to Auto Club Speedway, where the crowd and the bill of fare is quite varied. A lot of different cultures here in Southern California. And they all seem to play here. I went over to Roger Penske's Audi dealership to look at a car yesterday. The salesman was from Sri Lanka, and he was an Earnhardt fan. Pretty cool.
Do tell.
Yeah.
You know, it's something. You look at the crowd here today. I know walking around behind the grandstand yesterday and even this morning, the most people I've seen here in quite some time. A beautiful crowd today.
Having a look at the 2 leaders, Kyle Busch and Joey Logano. We've been talking about splitters.
Yellow's out. Debris down the back.
And caution's out, as we'll take a close look at Joey Logano's car. Caution is for debris in the back straightaway. Look at the front splitter right there, just dragging the ground at the very front of that race car.
And you see it right there, and you see part of it gone right there. We've talked about these cars bottoming out on the back straightaway, especially getting off into turn 3, and that actually has broken part of that front splitter. That front splitter creates front downforce, which helps the front tires grip. Now, Michael, do you think this is going to be an issue for Joey Logano?
Oh, it definitely is, Larry Mack. The deal is these teams have a delicate balance they're faced with. The lower you run the car, the faster it'll go. I was talking to several drivers. They said, I'm dragging the ground and I'm hauling. We get it up off the road and I can't go as fast. But the problem is that splitter that we see there on Brad Keselowski's car, very thin at the front fender. It's worn away on the 22 car of Joey Logano, and that will hurt him. Remember, if you're leading this race, and you can see Kyle's losing his as well, if you're leading this race, you might be running 42 seconds flat. You might be running 15th and running 42.15 seconds. That's how tight things are. So you lose a little bit of downforce, it could cost you a whole lot of time on the track.
Pace car has the field gathered up, and they'll open the pits this time. The big loser in that green flag run, Kevin Harvick, was 3rd before pit stops, had a speeding penalty that dropped him to 16th. Kurt Busch was solidly on the lead lap. He had a speeding penalty. He is now a lap down in 28th.
I know they had a strategy, but I think that caution was a huge break for Tony Stewart, because if you go back to my numbers, every driver will be on pit road right here fill it up with Sunoco race fuel, you can make it on 2 more stops from this pit stop.
You know who else agrees with your numbers? Steve Addington. He's probably saying, I'm thankful for that caution.
Stewart is 5th. Under this, the 3rd caution flag of the day. Chance for the pit crews to work their magic. So in the front 5, 2 Toyotas, Logano's Ford, and 2 Chevrolets. Pit roads open. Steve.
Matt Kenseth has had to adjust his line, Mike. He's driving lower on the racetrack than where he started the race. He says he's loose in. He gets tight on initial throttle, and then he's loose off. So it's early and then late when he's 4 tires for Matt Kenseth. We go to Krista.
Steve, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is also loose in. He said, I thought I was too tight at the start of the run, but it really came around to me. 4 tires of Sunoco fuel, Matt.
Peter Kyle Busch, he says his car wasn't bad balance-wise, but wants to keep up with the racetrack. They made a track bar adjustment on this stop. It said the car helped that on the previous run. Meanwhile, Joey Logano, he said his car was tight from center to exit, had gotten slightly worse on that run. They made a chassis adjustment as well.
Looks like having that number 1 pit selection that comes with sitting on the pole paid off for Denny Hamlin. He wins the battle off pit road.
So the battle of different strategies kind of comes apart with this caution flag for debris.
The Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola, is sponsored by AT&T. Rethink possible. If you just tuned in, a quick recap here before the race. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin near each other, and Kyle Busch in the middle. He's been the star of the first half of this race, but look at Logano getting near Hamlin. Logano led for quite a few laps in this race, 24 as a matter of fact. Brad Keselowski, who started 29th, Greg Biffle from the back of the pack. They actually made up 8 spots in 1 lap and were in the top 10, but oil on the track created some problems for a number of cars who slid and scraped the wall. Clint Bowyer, Keselowski, Bowyer, Casey Kane involved. They worked themselves back into the top 10. 7 leaders, 10 different lead changes. Denny Hamlin leading Kyle Busch at the moment here at the Auto Club 400. But in 2 weeks from today, it's Martinsville, Virginia.
In 2 weeks, NASCAR on Fox returns, and I'm going home. You coming with me? We head to Martinsville for some of the best short track racing you'll ever see.
Denny Hamlin, can't believe what I just saw.
Yeah, I've won there a couple times. I'm going for another one. Be there, only on Fox.
Martinsville in 2 weeks. The California racing community lost a couple of greats this week. John Cardinale, the longtime public relations director up at Sears Point in Sonoma, lost his battle with cancer. Cardinale was 47. And close by here in San Bernardino, industrialist, race car sponsor, and racetrack owner Warner Hodgdon passed at the age of 80. He rebuilt and revitalized the city of San Bernardino's downtown, and as a former owner of Bristol, Nashville Speedways. Getting ready to restart with Keselowski at the back after a speeding penalty on his pit stop. He came in 13th. Now he's 27th as Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch lead them to green.
Once again, Larry, 3, 4, just pick a lane. There's plenty of them there, and everybody's in one.
Yeah, Matt Kenseth in that 20 car, he goes way up the racetrack trying to get that run off turn 2. Just look at those 2 Joe Gibbs drivers, though, Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. I don't know who wants to win this thing the most.
I don't either, but I know, get easy here, boys. Now your teammates give each other a little room.
Very little.
That's the problem, though, isn't it, DW? You've got all that room in the corner, but you tend to come together on the exit of the corner.
You have a come-together meeting right out there off turn 4.
Bowyer and Biffle on the inside of the 56 of Truex. That's 9th place.
I have to get an attaboy to Clint Bowyer's team as well as Casey Kane's team. Remember, they got in that hole on the back straightaway. Major repairs for both those drivers, and now they're in the top 10.
And Ricky Stenhouse on the move, takes 12th away from Jamie McMurray. And Harvick, the 29, coming from the back, trying to recover from his speeding penalty.
Whoa, baby. Oh, now. Hang on there, boys. Again, just really tight. You get that big arrow push to some degree up off turn 4 there, and you just can't stay off that car on the outside of you.
Harvick behind Tony Stewart. Excuse me, there's Stewart. He's up on the outside of Casey Kane. 6th and 7th. There's Harvick. Side of Stenhouse. By the way, David Rudiman got the free pass under that, the 3rd caution of the day.
Well, that caution, I think, was exactly what Kevin Harvick needed in that 29. Had that pit road speeding penalty under green on lap 70. Gave him an opportunity to catch back up.
So Harvick back in play at 13th right now. Brad Keselowski again has to fight his way from the back to the front as he did at the start of the race. These two are going to prove to be tough to catch. Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin both in Toyotas, leading Joey Logano 1 second back, then Earnhardt and Kenseth. We'll have our mid-race report when we come back.
The Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola, is sponsored by the Dodge Dart. Dodge, new rules. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's at 100 laps to go, and time now for the AT&T mid-race report. Chris Myers, glad you're watching with us, and Kyle Busch, your current leader. He and Joey Logano led the most laps through the first half. Busch, by the way, led this race the last 2 years, led the most laps, but did not wind up winning it. Darrell Waltrip, who are you keeping an eye on?
Well, I try to connect the dots. And Dale Jr., the last time he won a race was at Michigan, a 2-mile super speedway, just like here in California. He has no wins here, but I'm watching that 88 today.
Well, I know this is going to be picking some low-hanging fruit, but I like Kyle Busch. He's been talking on the radio to his crew chief. He's saying, I haven't really kicked this thing in the side yet. I know what I need to do, I believe, and I think I have enough in the tank to do it. Watch for Kyle Busch to close strong.
Now, Michael, Joey Logano got a fresh start in 2013, and what happened at Bristol may be exactly what he needed to build a fire up on him. I'm going to keep an eye on Joey Logano. What a better thing to do than give Roger Penske a win at a track he opened in the late 90s. That.
But Larry Mack, Joe Gibbs would love to score a Sprint Cup Series win here. Denny Hamlin would like to give that to him, currently 3rd. His car pretty much from the drop of the green flag. He's been too free on entry. They've continued to try to tighten that race car up. They still have some work to do here in the second half. Mike?
Well, the trend is that the halfway leader here goes to victory lane. It's happened in 7 of the last 11 races here, but not the past 2 years, as Chris pointed out. Kyle Busch led the halfway lap, didn't win it, and today, Chris, he's led the halfway lap again.
And Mike, another factor, we heard crew chief Chad Knaus early in the race tell Jimmy Johnson, his driver, make sure you hydrate. This will be the hottest race of the year so far. How the driver handles the heat and the stress on their engines may determine the outcome today. Jimmy has not led, but he's a 5-time winner here and currently 18th. This has been your AT&T mid-race report. Kyle Busch leading Joey Logano, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Denny Hamlin. You're watching NASCAR on Fox. The Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola, is sponsored by the 2013 Ford F-150 with EcoBoost. By Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And by Subway, the official training restaurant of Carl Edwards and athletes everywhere.
10 laps past halfway in Southern California. Play Fox Fantasy Auto Racing, presented by Ford. Pick your team of 5 drivers each week and compete for weekly prizes all season long. Sign up today at foxsports.com/fantasy and pick your winning team. Matt Kenseth started 3rd, has led this race. He's dropped back to 10th. Have a look at him here. Ooh.
Oh, he and Biffle are kind of leaning on each other. Those are 2 former teammates. Yeah, it gets into that left rear just a little bit. Biffle in his 16 does. Yeah, right there. Big contact. Woohoo!
Boy, that'll cut a tire down.
That'll cut your tire right down, man.
Now, earlier, Clint Bowyer got some damage driving through the oil when Timmy Hill dropped an engine, or dropped oil on the track from the engine. And Bowyer was one of 6 cars that got damaged. So let's get an update from Bowyer and see what's fresh off the wire, brought to you by KFC. Steve Burns.
Well, Mike, his crew chief is Brian Patty. Brian, you guys were so good early until you hit the wall. Can you get back to being contention?
I think so. Guys did a good job fixing the car in that pit stop. I think we passed 21 cars that next stint. So, yeah, we got a car capable. We just got to have a little bit of luck.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Thanks.
And that's what's fresh off the wire. Bowyer has rebounded to 6th place, and you saw Matt Kenseth make a pit stop at lap 93, unscheduled here, and you see the damage on both the right front and right rear on his car.
I think he may have felt, though, possibly that left rear tire going soft, the untimeliness of that stop right there. He still would have to make 2 more stops to make it to the end.
Yeah, that was hard enough contact, Larry. I bet it damaged that tire, and I bet he could feel it going down. Before it did blow out, he came to pit road.
Kenseth was 11th. He is now 1 lap down in 26th. Mark Martin battling Ricky Stenhouse, fighting for 18th position here. And let's go to the backstretch. Jeff Hammond.
Mike, right now I'm at real campus. Camera position 6. My buddy Turtle, one of our great cameramen here with Fox. I'm getting a really good view down the back straightaway of how rough this racetrack it still is today. Now, they haven't heard a lot of drivers complain about it, but we've already documented the 22-car Joe Logano. The problem he has with the left side of his splitter right now could be a factor before the end of the day. Remember, we're just past the halfway point. We may see several other drivers, and I've seen several cars hitting the racetrack really hard down the back straightaway and entering turn 3. Depending on the line, it either minimizes it if you stay high or you try to cut across to the bottom and down that apron, you're going to hit that much harder. So he may not be the only guy that's going to be a victim of this racetrack at the end of the day.
Jeff, you can see, if you look at our shot there, you can see those dark and light spots. That's where the cars really porpoise up and down going down that back straightaway.
Yeah, you really can, Darrell. You're exactly right. It's light and dark, and it's all because they're actually almost like grinding the racetrack down, and it really looks good. We're riding along with Joey Logano, and you see out the front windshield as he goes down the back straightaway through these corners how really rough this racetrack is.
Yeah, you get right down here about 2/3 of the way down, and you'll watch the car will start to bop up and down just a little bit, getting into turn 3. Very disturbing.
Yeah, it's one of the few tracks we go to where the straightaways are bumpier than the corners.
Unusual. But they make it seem seamless.
And back comes Brad as he battles Jamie McMurray. 16th place for Keselowski, Matt.
When you look at Keselowski, his day took a turn. Remember back when the Timmy Hill incident happened, we had great video of the 2 car just grazing the wall. Brad's car from that point on has been on the tight side and gotten worse. They feel like something happened cosmetically possibly to the car or knocked something out of alignment because the car just has not been the same.
Car in the wall, turn 2. Bounced off, kept going slowly.
Yeah, the car.
That's Joe Nemechek.
The car just took off up the track. I'm thinking he may have been running in. No, he's got a left rear tire down. I see it now.
Nemechek, that will be a break for Matt Kenseth, who was a lap down, and it was confirmed from the pits that Kenseth did have a flat left rear tire when he pitted.
Oh yeah, that splitter got in there and cut that left rear tire down, no question.
Watch the black car of Joe Nemechek high up against the wall.
And Mike, he chased that car from turn 1 all the way up into the middle of the corner and hung onto that car with that left rear tire down.
4th caution of the day, lap 117 for Nemechek. Aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Everything we learn making tires that face the grueling demands of NASCAR inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, official tire of NASCAR.
Speaking of tires, speaking of Sunoco race fuel, this caution right here, it's basically going to be they're going to hit pit road with 82 laps to go. 41 laps a run will get you to the end. I guarantee you now they're starting to think about that on pit road.
Yeah, this was a perfect time for a caution.
Kyle Busch will lead them down. Joey Logano, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Denny Hamlin, Tony Stewart, the top 5 of 25 lead lap cars.
Plus, I tell you something else. You can't have any mistakes. You're getting late in the race. No mistakes.
Here they come, Steve.
And my Kevin Harvick and his team have done a great job of battling back from that pit road speeding penalty. They've made very few adjustments to this 29 car, a brand new race car, 4 tires for Kevin Harvick and Sunoco Fuel, Krista.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. a little snug on new tires, but he said, we've been like that every week this year, so it's not a concern to me. I'm driving it. I really don't have any issues at all. Matt?
Kyle Busch slides to a stop. No adjustments for the 18 of Busch. Meanwhile, the 22 of Logano, he needs big help. He says the car absolutely has gotten tighter through the center of the corner, and he's lost a lot of grip on exit. Air pressure change for the 22.
Trouble on the right rear on the 88. Took forever.
22 seconds. You're right, Darrell. That's an eternity when you're on pit road. Forever. Carl Edwards, the big gainer there, up 5 spots along with Ryan Newman. Dale Jr. came in third, went out deep in the field.
The Auto Club 400 is presented by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR. Coca-Cola, open happiness.
Finishing up the 4th caution of the day, let's give you an inside look at what's happening in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, brought to you by Sprint. Kyle Busch led a lot of laps today, 3 times as many as anyone else. Get unlimited access to NASCAR with a NASCAR Mobile 13 app and truly unlimited data from Sprint. No metering, no throttling, no overages while on the Sprint network. Learn more at sprint.com/speed.
Let's take a look at Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the 88 team. Came in running third, and you're going to see Joe Slinger on the right rear. He gets the tire off just fine, but when he goes to put it back on, a lug nut falls. He has to pick one up, try to get it on there. Another one falls. He goes to pick another one up, and this is going to be a 20-second pit stop with all the problems there on the right rear. He pretty much goes from 3rd to 21st here with 80 laps to go. If you just look right here, look compared to Kyle Busch, that's essentially 10 seconds, or if you want to break it down, 18 spots. Now, we had 4 drivers that came to pit road to top off with fuel, and we got the 1 to go. Brad Keselowski in the 2, Juan Pablo Montoya in the 42, Matt Kenseth in the 20. It was a no-brainer for them. They just got the free pass, as well as Jeff Gordon. I think those 4 drivers are definitely thinking they can make it. You can see them packing it in. Juan Pablo Montoya, they would have to make 40 laps a run to get to the end here.
I like that strategy. I like that a lot.
Now we'll also have 5 cars take the wave around. Paul Menard, David Gilliland, David Reagan, J.J. Yaley, and Dave Blaney all took the wave around there at the back of this pack, and we go green with 31 lead lap cars.
Yeah, Montoya is going to go a lap down. They could not get that car fired. They're passing him now as he just leaves pit road.
And here goes Logano right to the bottom and right to the lead.
Now Logano's car is really good on the bottom, particularly on new tires here on the restart. But Kyle will get that high line, and he'll get a lot of momentum around the top of this racetrack. Whoa, now. Closed the door on him, Logano did on the, I think he was expecting Kyle to go high.
Kyle trying to take the bottom and maybe trying to loosen Joey up a little bit. Neither of those strategies worked. Logano, leader by 3 car lengths at the stripe.
But Darrell, I think that's a sign of a good handling race car, because Kyle Busch got right on that left rear and it didn't seem to affect Joey Logano.
Oh man, he was right back in the gas and going.
Montoya is up to speed, a lap down. Krista, what happened?
Yeah, Mike, they actually, the shifter broke from the gearbox, so they had to spend time on pit road fixing that shifter. Juan Pablo Montoya may only have 3rd and 4th gear right now.
Of course, where that really hurts him is making pit stops and on restarts.
Teammates Biffle and Edwards 7th and 8th fight for position. Carl clears Biffle after the pit stop, the botched pit stop for Dale Jr. Here's the team communication.
Well, we're better than that. We'll just rebound. Have some goodness from here. So have a couple more to the finish.
That's crew chief Steve Letarte.
Well, I tell you, it has built the fire under him, Krista, because he's went from 21st to 12th in 2.5 laps. Krista.
Well, I think what's interesting about this, Larry, is Dale Jr. was also the one on the radio pumping up his team, telling him it's just a blip on the radar. Dale Jr. said one of the things he loves about this team, this organization, they hold him accountable. He said it's a complete
Daryl, that's the carpool lane down there. Where was he going?
No, but he's going somewhere. He's going to the front's where he's going. But Dale Jr. is a refocused race car driver this year. I talked to his car owner, Rick Hendrick. Rick said he's never seen Dale Jr. like this. He went on a diet. He lost 20 pounds. He's more engaged, and it is going to pay off late in races, particularly. The better shape you're in, the better job you can do at the end of the day.
Fourth place, Hamlin and Harvick. And in case you were half listening, no, Dale Jr. did not get engaged. He is engaged with the running of that race team.
Well, all I know is not far behind this group right here is a man by the name of Biffle in that 16 car. He's in 6th behind Tony Stewart. The 14 passes Tony Stewart. Remember, had to start this race at the rear of the field just like Brad Keselowski because of an engine change. We said it. It wasn't going to be a matter if he got to the front. It would be when he gets there.
Yeah, that car is so fast all weekend long in practice and everything. Just unfortunate having to start in the back. But, man, he's got that baby hooked up now, and he's on the apron.
He almost went to the grass that time.
That's a shortcut, man. He took the shortcut. Got a couple of them.
And pops right up exiting turn 4 single file right behind Harvick, who is 3rd. How about a good old Southern California NASCAR on Fox? You know what?
I hear you.
Work it up. Entering the corner right around 200 miles an hour. That's what it's like. 72 laps to go. We're at Auto Club Speedway.
Well, Mike, I'm seeing a lot of new players in the game. Maybe not so much. You got Biffle up there in 4th, but you drop back just a little bit, and you got Carl Edwards back there in 9th. We hadn't spoken much of him today, but I'll see some guys, the cream starting to rise to the top a little bit here.
See our top 3 right there. Another player, Ryan Newman. He's moved up to the 7th spot in that 39 car.
The driver who is closing fastest on the leader is the Bakersfield basher, Kevin Harvick. Here is the trace. At lap 152 is where, based on their current lap times, Harvick would be side by side with Logano for the lead. That's about 22 laps from now.
I think somebody needs to call him and tell him. If you keep going like you are at lap 129.
Joey Logano out in front is the only driver in the top 5 who does not have one of those surfboard shaped trophies from Auto Club Speedway yet.
But he put a whipping on him a year ago in the Nationwide Series race.
Car high is Marcus Ambrose with a flat left rear tire up in turn 1, waiting for traffic to clear, and he gets down to the bottom of the racetrack. Caution is out.
Yeah, come on down. You got to believe that he may, you know, these left rear tires getting cut down. That splitter gets up in there, and it doesn't take much at all to cut that left rear tire down. Probably had some casual contact somewhere around the track.
Ambrose was 17th in his Richard Petty Ford.
You see him going high in the turn here. Already the tire's down, and he's just trying to hang on to this thing and keep it out of the wall. He's getting it slowed up enough where he can, and then all of a sudden probably start seeing some debris fly out of there.
Yep. Today, action movie fans and race fans would be celebrating the birthday of the King of Cool. Steve McQueen would have been 83 today. Once finished as runner-up in the 12 Hours of Sebring. Raced foot in a cast. He broke it in a motorcycle accident, but raced on. Coca-Cola race summary. 69 laps to go. Your leader is Joey Logano. First of now 29 cars on the lead lap. He's one of 7 race leaders. Kyle Busch has led the most laps, and we're now working the 5th caution flag of the day. Joe Gibbs Racing has been here with Toyotas, Chevrolets, Pontiacs even. Has never been to victory lane at Auto Club Speedway, but they have led most of the laps today.
I'm not sure I would like to do it, but I will not be surprised based on Tony Stewart earlier. Steve, we may see some drivers go with just 2 tires. Steve.
Larry Mack, Kevin Harvick will not be one of those drivers. He told Gil Martin, the crew chief, just help me in the center a little bit. He does get a clean windshield, Krista, and 4 tires.
Steve Letarte talked about what Tony Stewart did, thinking about the 2 tires, but the plan is to go for 4, and this team is pumped up looking for redemption. Matt?
Kyle Busch in 18 said his car just didn't take off at the beginning of that run like it did the previous runs. You can see the chassis adjustment already completed on the 18. Meanwhile, the bottom left, Joey Logano. They've made headway in the center of the corner, but he still needs more grip, more drive off the corner.
Well, this will change things. Tony Stewart gets 2 tires and leads them off pit road. So does Boyer, Keselowski, and Kenseth. Well, that'll make things interesting with 68 laps to go on the Auto Club 400.
Caution's out, caution's out. Whoever laid down the oil, we got in it and we smacked the fence. Something just happened to me. There was oil. I hit it. I got the wall in some oil. Oil on the track. 55, 15, 78, 5. Yeah, a bunch of them hit the wall. Damn it!
66 laps to go at the Auto Club Speedway. NASCAR on Fox. It's time for an AT&T race break brought to you by the nation's largest 4G LTE network. And in the aftermath of Bristol, Logano didn't accept the apology from Hamlin, but Hamlin said it wouldn't be good for Joey to retaliate today. But they were close. In fact, Logano, who had never led in 6 previous races, led 34 laps in this race. Oil on the track created some problems for cars scraping the wall. You saw Clint Boyer, 5 or 6 cars affected. Brad Keselowski, the points leader, coming in. Casey Kane, who has not been near the front of the pack. And even Dale Earnhardt Jr. had to recover from a pit stop problem. You heard him cheering on his crew and saying, we'll recover, and he has rather nicely, as has Joey Logano. Tony Stewart has moved into the lead here with our latest caution. We've had 7 leaders, 13 lead changes so far. It's a race Tony Stewart has to have, or at least finish well, since he came in 24th in points. Stewart has won 2 of the last 3 California races. But let's talk, Michael Waltrip, about Logano. Earlier, we have documented the splitter and some of the problems that could cause throughout this race.
Yeah, if you don't have your splitter fully intact, you will lose front downforce. You could see it begin to grind away early in the race on top, and now not only is it ground away, Chris, it's halfway around to the front of the car, and it's fallen apart from the body itself. So that could cause even more problems. It's not going to get any better. These cars bounce down the straightaways. There's so much to be gained by having a low car, but the risk is burning your splitter off, and that's exactly where Logano is right now.
So what can you or a crew chief do about it with 65 laps to go and seems like few cautions down the stretch here?
Yeah, we talked about we're getting in the late stages of the races. You can't come to pit road now and work on your car and think that you're going to have a chance to go back to the front. There just isn't enough time left. These guys are using strategy right now. Tony Stewart up front. Clint Boyer hard into the outside wall. They've recovered from that, and they're currently running second. So it's really important to have all your stuff together for these last 65 laps. You go to the back to put a little packer in the left front, which is what Joey Logano might need to keep that splitter off the road. they'll never be able to recover from it.
And Kyle Busch, who has led the most laps in this race, he's led laps in 2 of the previous races coming in, but pit road speeding penalties, no problems for him on pit road. Others have had problems, but where does Kyle Busch figure in these final 65 laps?
Well, he has been so fast. I said at the midway break, watch him. When he wants to kick that car, he can really go. When you run as close to the wall as he does, you got to be a little bit conservative. We're getting to the point in the race now where conservative is out. We got to go win us a race.
And it looks like all lanes are usable. Who can pick the best lane over the final 65 laps will be worth watching. And that is your AT&T Race Break, brought to you by the nation's largest 4G LTE network. AT&T, Mike, rethink possible.
Thanks, Chris. We'll have 31 lead lap cars, and they will include Kurt Busch, who finally overcomes his speeding penalty. He was the free pass. And the curious case of Timmy Hill, who we saw dump oil on the track. 5 cars hit the wall as a result. He did not blow an engine. He lost an oil line because Hill is now back out there logging laps 71 laps down.
And Kyle Busch, an 18 car per Matt Yoakum, back in 10th. He had to go to his backup battery.
Green flag. Tony Stewart and Clint Bowyer bring them to turn 1. Stewart on the outside.
Top 4 drivers there all went with just 2 tires. Look at the run that Stewart's getting on the outside, as well as Kevin Harvick in the 29, and there comes Kyle Busch.
Harv tried the top, Dale Jr. the bottom. The top groove is the one that works. Here comes Harvick.
Yeah, a couple of things. Going to a backup battery, that's not a bad thing. It should be fine. It's late in the race. I'm not really concerned about that splitter on that 22 car. It's on that left side. I don't think it'll have a huge effect. Those guys are going to be tough.
Kyle through the middle with Harvick on the high side, and Kenseth giving up the bottom to go up top. But they're all chasing Tony Stewart.
We've been in the car a couple of times with Tony, watching his in-car. I really and truly don't think I've ever seen him work as hard as I see him work today.
That little move there, boys, by Kyle Busch. He restarted 10th. He was passing for 3rd down in the middle of 1 and 2 after just 1 lap. I told you, we're not going to be conservative anymore, and Kyle's got his ears pinned back and is going.
Yeah, Michael, I've never seen a driver that can make moves on a restart like he can. He is the master of restarts.
Harvick outside Bowyer, crosses over, 2nd place. Stewart out in front by half a second last week at Bristol. His crew chief Steve Addington told me we have some new suspension pieces going through the NASCAR approval process. When we get them approved, which should be by California, we will be better. Here's the proof of the pudding. Stewart showed us very little during the practice sessions all week long. Started this race 6th. He is out front with his nose in the wind. And he just ran his fastest lap of the race.
Got a little piece of debris on the nose. I don't think it's any problem, though. It looked like a small piece of wrapper on the far side of the grill.
And look at we're right together again.
We got a bunch of hungry hounds right here with 61 laps to go. There you see the 2 drivers that started at the rear of the field because of engine change. Brad Keselowski in the 2, the blue car, and Greg Biffle at the back of this pack in the 16. And then think about Matt Kenseth. Wasn't that long ago he was on pit road for an unscheduled stop for a flat left rear.
That's the guy that's going somewhere, Larry. That 18 car is coming. He restarted 10th. He's up to fighting for 2nd right here. He is on a tear.
Now both of these drivers elected to go with 4 tires on that last pit stop.
Last week at Bristol, every driver comes out to music of his own choice and introduces himself. And Kyle grabs the microphone and to a chorus of boos says, "You know who I am."
No introduction needed.
These cars, that's one thing that I know about these cars. They can run side by side without getting all crazy and pushing and getting loose.
Now top to bottom gets Busch into the corner quicker. But staying up top gives Harvick more momentum off the corner.
But Kyle has got his car better, Mike, because he wasn't able to run down low like he is now on this last restart. So he's made his car much better.
We wanted to give 5 races in the books, 5 different racetracks, but I don't think we can say enough about this new Generation 6 car with what NASCAR, the teams, the manufacturers have done with the downforce. We have had great racing at all 5 races, all 5 tracks.
Larry, this car, I say this, and I say it, I don't mean this disrespectfully. This car is better than the teams right now. They're figuring it out. They're trying to get their arms around it. What can they do, and what will it do?
At 7th place, teammates Denny Hamlin and the 20, Matt Kenseth. Right behind them, Ryan Newman, who is the race leader's teammate. Krista.
Ryan Newman has really been through a lot today. We talked about a missed adjustment earlier in the race. Then he was dragging the right side of the splitter against the track. But on the last run, he said, now we've got it. The car was the best it's been all day.
Well, he's had a very trying 2013 as we see Kevin Harvick up there battling Kyle Busch. They continue to battle for this 2nd spot.
And Tony Stewart is not getting away from these two, even though they continue to battle. .58 laps to go as Montoya hits pit road. Tony Stewart leading.
The Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola, is sponsored by Chevy Silverado. The one you depend on, the one that lasts.
With 53 laps to go, a lead change. So we'll take an inside look at what's happening in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, brought to you by Sprint. Our 15th lead change of the day. Kyle Busch going past Tony Stewart. Stewart took it back and things almost got difficult. We'll show you in a moment. But you can get unlimited access to NASCAR with the NASCAR Mobile 13 app and truly unlimited data from Sprint. No metering, no throttling, no overages. Learn more at sprint.com/speed.
Boy, there's some aggressive racing going on right now. I mean, not just for the lead, but all back through the field.
Kyle Busch took the lead, and Stewart tried to take it back over in turn number 2.
I can't believe how close this comes to being a wreck right here, guys. See Stewart drop to the bottom, up along beside the 18 car there. He kind of thinks he might have him cleared enough to get up in front of him right here, but look at this run when Kyle gets right. Ooh! And Tony had to get out of the throttle, man. If he hadn't, that would have been big.
Yeah, and Tony's also going to lose that 3rd spot to Joey Logano in the 22, but that goes back to what you were talking about earlier. You can do all that through the corners, but it comes together on the exit.
You didn't see Kyle Busch lifting.
No, it's a good thing Tony did, though, because he was going to be all on the side of that 18 car.
So Busch with Harvick, Logano 1 second back, and Stewart now 2 back. Keselowski working on his 5th straight top 5 finish. As Larry told you earlier, that would tie the record set by Dale Earnhardt for defending champion to begin the season with 5 straight top 5s. That happened in 1995.
He's such a steady performer. That he and his crew chief, they make such great calls during the race, and you can always depend on them to be there at the end of the day.
In 6th place, our pole sitter, Denny Hamlin, 4.4 seconds. Hamlin has led 3 laps today, but didn't have the dominating performance that he hoped for.
No, and because he showed a lot of speed in all the practice sessions here, and still need maybe one adjustment away from being able to compete with Kyle Busch.
Clint Boyer, one of those cars that got banged up on lap 36 in oil from Timmy Hill's car, trying to hold off Ryan Newman, who's climbed to 8th. And there is Casey Kane, the 9th place car.
Yeah, they've done a lot of work on that Kane car. They had a lot of damage to that thing. They fixed it up pretty good. He's not too bad now.
Matt Kenseth had an unscheduled pit stop for a flat left rear tire, but he has come back. Things have cycled back in his favor. He's in the top 10. Greg Biffle in 11th after starting scratch on the field, and he has come right to the front a couple of times today. 12th, the Phoenix winner, Carl Edwards. Here's Steve.
And Mike, just moments ago, he was really concerned about temps. He was up to 270 degrees, but his teammate Greg Biffle backed up to the 99 and helped get debris off the grill. Right now, the 99 is okay. He just hasn't found any grip all day, Mike.
Thanks, Steve. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been up amongst the leaders, but has fallen back and started running that unorthodox line once again down on the apron, all down the front straightaway.
Yeah, he fell back quite a bit, but I think the car's just not handled like it was earlier when he was running up in the top 3.
And here's A.J. Allmendinger, who will run a number of races for James Finch here in Cup, and he'll run the Indy 500 for Roger Penske this year.
I want to give a call to his race team, though. 5 races, 3 different drivers. They're sitting there 8th in the owner points coming into this race today.
Jeff Gordon having an off day, and Eric Almirola is going to run maybe 420 miles today because every one of his laps has been right up against the wall at both ends of the speedway. And Kurt Busch, who recovered from a pit road speeding penalty, finally worked it to get the free pass, and he's back on the lead lap, and he's still passing cars.
Yeah, he's had a good little race car all day. He had some bad luck there early on, but he's made up for it, and he's starting to fight back just a little bit. Looking pretty good.
5th place, Keselowski has caught Hamlin.
Well, I think
that's Hamlin catching Keselowski.
Yeah, I think Keselowski and drivers like Matt Kenseth paying the price now for those 2 tires.
Oh.
The Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola, is sponsored by Sprint. Millions of fans, one family. Only Sprint can feed them all. Join the family at sprint.com/speed.
42 laps to go in Southern California. Kyle Busch, 3/4 of a second up on Kevin Harvick. 42 to go, including 1 more pit stop at the least. Kevin Harvick 7/10 back, right in Busch's shadow. 4 seconds back to Joey Logano. Then Denny Hamlin has now moved to 4th, ahead of Tony Stewart. Jimmy Johnson's one of the local Southern California heroes, 5-time winner here. But his worst finish here, Matt, is 16th ever, and Johnson right now is mired in 24th.
It looks like he's in the off-road and an off-road truck the way he's working the wheel. Mike, basically after the 2nd run today, Jimmy's car, like flipping a switch, absolutely lost the balance that he had the first 2 runs, which the car was so fast. He could not run the bottom, couldn't use the apron to hook the car like he was earlier in the race. Right now, they've made so many adjustments on this race car. The last stop, I lost count how many rounds of wedge they put in that 48 machine.
Larry, right now, his lap times are 1 second slower than the race leader.
Yeah, he's just looking for another pit stop, but I can't help but think back to what Chad Knaus, his crew chief, told Michael Waltrip when Michael was on pit road. We stayed up all night long redoing things, thinking about what to do to that race car. Thought they hit it. Obviously they didn't.
That thing is evil. Anytime you watch a driver turn the car to the right, anytime you have to fight the wheel to the right, that means this thing is about to spin out. And you right here, you'll see you got to cut it back to the right to save it. He's not looking for another pit stop. He's looking for another racetrack.
Need to make note that Juan Pablo Montoya with transmission problems went to the garage area.
Thanks, Larry. 2 weeks from today, short track slam bang, Martinsville Speedway in Virginia.
That's the one Jimmy Johnson's looking forward to right now.
Got a great record there.
And no different than Bristol, someone will be mad at someone. I can almost promise you when it's over.
Bobby Labonte, one of 3 drivers to run every Cup race ever held here at Auto Club Speedway. Jeff Burton and Jeff Gordon are the others. Labonte making perhaps his final pit stop of the day, and the parade begins. Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr., Mark Martin onto pit road, Martin Truex also in, and Jamie McMurray. Krista?
As you see on your screen, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in. Remember, they had the slow stop earlier in the race. They redeemed themselves on the last stop. Will they be able to again? A 4-tire stop for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He said the handling was worse on that last run. There you also see Martin Truex. He has really been struggling all day with the right rear of the race car. He said he's been burning it off all day. They've made several adjustments. This time he thought the left rear was going down. Martin Truex said his race car right now, horrible.
Danica Patrick in. Here comes Clint Bowyer. Steve.
Mike, Clint Bowyer's same refrain for him. He said it will not turn in the center. I can't get the front to turn at all. Tires at Sunoco Fuel for Clint Bowyer. Meanwhile, Matt Kenseth says the entry into the corners is the best it's been. It's just a little bit free. That's what Matt Kenseth said moments ago.
Jeff Burton makes his stop in and out. The 2 BK cars are in, and Mark Martin, the speeding police, the electronic timing system, has his too fast entering his pit.
I was just telling Barry Landis, our producer down there, I said, you know what, I think that 55 might have been a little hot coming in.
Here's Kasey Kahne, Brad Keselowski, Carl Edwards in, and more. Steve?
Kasey Kahne, another one that's been fighting a tight condition, Mike. It's going to be 4-tire change for Kasey Kahne again. Trying to get that thing to turn. Carl Edwards, they have, as we said, overcome their overheating problem. But again, the car is still too loose. Matt.
And meanwhile, Brad Keselowski's car, you can see where he had some of the cosmetic damage to the right side. 2 cautions ago, they worked on that right side to help clean it up. Clean the grill, no chassis adjustment for the 2.
Kyle Busch stays out. He is still the quickest car on the racetrack. But as these cars come up to speed with fresh tires, that'll change.
Well, where the cat and mouse game will come is, I think, with our top 4. Kyle Busch, Harvick, Logano, and Hamlin. Once one of them comes to pit road, Matt, the other ones can't be far behind.
And Stewart looking for another win here. You can see already going to work on the right side. Look for a wedge adjustment. Still haven't seen the wedge wrench go in the back window yet. He said he gave it a valiant effort on those 2 right side tires, trying to keep that car out front. No adjustment, he's away. Meanwhile, the 22, Joey Logano, he's making his way down pit road. Joey telling his team absolutely needs some more help on exit the corner.
Ambrose in and out, Dave Blaney, David Gilliland making their stops as we work through what could be the final round of pit stops. There are only 7 cars among the lead pack that have not yet stopped.
So Todd Gordon and Joey Logano, they've laid the cards on the table first by hitting pit road of those top 4 that I talked about.
So the one still on the racetrack.
I only need 1 number. Do something. Okay, bring it to us. Bring it to us.
Kyle being next time. Harvick's still out there along with Denny Hamlin, Ryan Newman, Jimmy Johnson, and J.J. Yaley. Everybody else has made their stop, and here comes Hamlin.
I wonder what he meant by that, Larry. I only need 1 number.
Evidently, they have a code by what kind of adjustments they're trying to make. Krista.
This is a huge day for Ryan Newman, and they can salvage a great finish out of this, running in the top 5 right now. Right now, he said he's just a little bit loose off. They're going for 4 tires and a round out and a right rear wedge to make up for that loose condition. Matt?
And the 18 guys up on the wall waiting for Kyle Busch. They're going to make a chassis adjustment, but his teammate, Denny Hamlin, he needs an air pressure change on that 11 machine, the pole sitter. He's had balance issues going back and forth between tight and loose, Steve.
Matt, Kevin Harvick told Gil Martin, his crew chief, I got tight on that last run, so they will make a chassis adjustment, and they do get 4 tires on Kevin Harvick's car. Let's go back to Matt.
Kyle Busch trying to pull off the weekend sweep, Saturday's winner in the Nationwide Series. You can see the wrench in the back window. The track bar adjustment already complete. Kyle's biggest issue, he said the car was snug pretty much all the way through the corner. Just needed a little bit of a grip issue. And meanwhile, we're talking about the 48's troubles today. Jimmy Johnson, not the day typically you see from the 48 team here at the Auto Club Speedway. More than likely not going to score a 6th win. Johnson's car, balance-wise, it's just all over the map. It was way too free on entry, then it was so tight on exit. They have just thrown a lot at this machine all day.
Johnson stayed out on the track hoping to lead a lap, climbed the scoreboard as high as 3rd when he finally came in. So we cycle through pit stops with 33 laps to go. Kyle Busch once again the leader in the Auto Club 400 presented by Coca-Cola. Caution is out for the 6th time today. There's the result. Marcus Ambrose just in front of Kevin Harvick. Take a look.
Trying to be clear.
Shredded the left rear tire. Heavy damage on Ambrose's car. Here's our extreme slow motion, our Exmo view of it.
Like Harvick
that
caught
is
a little
the
bit
second flat left rear for Ambrose today. Second caution he's brought out.
Yeah, it looked like Harvick may have caught that rubber casing off that tire.
Ambrose went to the garage.
Now, we just had cycled through green flag pit stops, but here with about 29, 30 laps to go, about half of our 25 drivers on the lead lap hit pit road.
had not been on those tires for very long. And you see some of those drivers stopping now. Took 2, some took 4 for this final run to the finish. 29 laps to go. Working the 6th caution of the day for Marcos Ambrose and the number 9.
The Auto Club 400, presented by Coca-Cola, is sponsored by the new motion picture 42, the true story of an American legend. In theaters, April 12th.
Getting ready for the restart. Hollywood's the home of action films. You want action? I'll show you action. It's coming in 2 weeks right here on Fox. Ruderman has 2 flats. He may not make it to the pits.
Quit running. Just shut off. What in the hell is that 10 doing?
Look at Ryan Newman. He gave Boyer a shot getting out of the
Three wide.
There goes Newman. Newman's going to take the lead.
What in the hell went wrong? So that was Boyer just going for a Hail Mary. That's stupid. You idiot.
Ryan Newman wins.
Too bad we were Hendrick 1, 2, 3.
Say what you want. We stood in victory lane.
That was 1 year ago at Martinsville.
You haven't had a good day at Martinsville if you don't have to text somebody or call them money and apologize for what happened.
And that's where the feud between Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer really started, Michael.
Escalated a bit. It sort of escalated a little bit at Phoenix as well. So these guys do have some issues. But when you go to the short track of Martinsville, just like when we were in Bristol, ooh, boys, I can't wait. 2 weeks, bumping and grinding. It's going to be on at Martinsville.
See you there. All right. David Ruderman got the free pass on this caution. Jimmy Johnson trying to salvage a day. The first 7 cars did not pit. Everyone from their back did.
You know what all their bad tracks have in common? They're not in the chase.
All right, the green is the restart box. That's where Kyle Busch has got to gas it and go. He beats Kevin Harvick to the start-finish line, and here comes Logano up the middle.
Boy, Harvick is not going, I mean, he's going nowhere.
Logano went up in the middle because he got a shot and a push from his teammate Brad Keselowski in that too.
Yeah, Harvick just did not go.
And who's flying around the outside? Is that Stewart?
That's Stewart up high.
To third.
With the head of steam, headed down the back. Looking for Casey Kane.
Top to bottom, Denny Hamlin. Elevator ride.
Oh, she's getting good now, boys.
This could be it right here.
Oh, yeah, 3 wide, 3 wide.
3 wide and only 8.
Coming to 25 laps to go. Great action off this restart. 4 wide in the back as Kyle Busch.
Bobbing and weaving, bobbing and
away. Now it's Boyer down to the bottom. Trying to make something happen.
Larry, it's hard to believe that 18 car out front Kyle Busch. This is the only current track that Joe Gibbs doesn't have a cup win in.
Toyota period.
Hard to believe, man. Hard to believe.
Now arriving track 2, Tony Stewart.
Oh, trouble down the back. There's a big wreck over there.
And it is Mark Martin who goes spinning down the back straightaway. Caution is out for the 7th time.
No, we can't anything. Moved to left rear.
A lot of rear end damage there.
Got a left rear tire down, and I'm sure there was some contact.
Saw the track bar hanging on the ground, Darrell.
Something just broke in the rear end.
Track bar.
Yep. Mark restarted 27th. David Gilliland with a lot of damage there.
Got a feeling that maybe Mark got a little help breaking that track bar.
Let's see, Mark Martin would have been the free pass car.
You see him back there up high, coming around the back of the picture there. I think he gets
all right,
forced.
Martin's here and Gilliland's there. They're pretty far apart from each other, so it was Mark coming across the track after it broke that got into Gilliland, who was a victim.
Let's see if if Mark gets any help or if that track bar just breaks. Did he get the wall? No, he got, there you go. There's your contact.
He comes right across Gilliland's nose.
Yep.
See the rear end moving back and forth there. Good sign.
Not sure which came first.
Pit road is open this time.
I think only drivers at the back of the lead lap will be on pit road here probably.
So the drivers who did not stop under the last caution, Busch the leader, Kane in second, Logano fourth, Keselowski fifth, Harvick sixth, Hamlin and Newman.
And it looks like Hamlin and Newman, as well as Jimmy Johnson, they're going to take advantage of this caution and hit pit road.
Krista?
Such a tough choice, tires or track position. Ryan Newman made the call. He said, not only do I want tires, I want you to reverse whatever adjustment you made on our last stop. It was a right rear adjustment, so they're going back on that, and the call is for 4 tires for the 39 of Ryan Newman. Matt?
Krista, our pole sitter, Denny Hamlin, was running in the 11th position, and Darian Grubb and the boys decided to make a strategy call here, going for fresh tires, seeing how much it shows on the stopwatch getting fresh tires. So they were back at 11th, Steve. They decided to pull for some new tires.
Matt, when this caution flag flew, Kevin Harvick said to Gil Martin and the crew, guys, I spun the tires. That's on me. Let's go to the Hollywood Hotel.
Thanks, Steve, with Michael Waltrip and Denny Hamlin, the pole sitter of this race, 23 to go. We heard him earlier complaining on the radio, or at least questioning the pit strategy or situation, and now pitting. We heard him also say this time around can't hold anybody off with these tires. Obviously, that's why they had to pit.
Well, when you're in the worst position is if you're the last guy that stayed out. Everybody behind you has fresh tires, and he started at 8th, and he fell back to 11th. They got a quick caution, so that's a good call for his team to come in and say, we'll get you some tires, go get them, Denny. But you want to know how tough this deal is, Chris. Kevin Harvick has had the car he could win with, right there battling for the lead. Just spins his tires on the restart, loses 5 or 6 spots. It'll be hard to rebound from there.
Well, it's something restarts have really changed in the late stages of the race. We've seen people take advantage. Kyle Busch, who's dominated this race, currently the leader in front of Casey Kane or Tony Stewart. What should we anticipate here? And this may be the final restart of this race.
Well, if history repeats itself, Kyle Busch will get another amazing restart. He's got that stuff figured out. Remember, they're dealing with different rear end housings this year, so the camber in the back probably makes accelerating more difficult than they've ever dealt with before. So look for Kyle Busch to drive away from him again. That's what we've seen every day.
And Joey Logano's had a terrific day here, and you've watched closely that splitter, the bounce there. He's only won 2 races in 150 in his career. Certainly a guy worth watching here, Michael, Larry, Darrell, over these final 23 laps.
Well, you got Casey Kane up there in second place.
Yeah.
Where did he come from? He overcame crash damage back at lap 36, the second caution of the day. It's taken him all day to work his way back up there. But of those top half dozen, Tony Stewart has the freshest tires.
Yeah, Tony looked good. And, I mean, that restart, he went around the outside. He passed a bunch of race cars, so that's somebody to keep an eye on. He's hungry for a win, and this is one of his best racetracks.
Yeah, whether you're Casey Kane, Tony Stewart, Brad Keselowski, you know the driver you're going to have to beat is Kyle Busch. But I'm holding my breath. The last 9 times he has led the most laps in a race, which he's already led the most and has locked that here today. He did not go to victory lane. I'm sure he's holding his breath as well.
I would guess. Mark Martin's car, you see the rear end kind of flailing back and forth there. Done for the day.
That's a good thing Toyota. Kyle can't hear us. Gibbs has never won here. Guy leads the most, led most laps and never has won. He'll be a nervous wreck.
We're told that Denny Hamlin's pit stop, he has lost a lug nut. One lug nut did not get reinstalled on that stop. He's going to have to come back to pit road.
Yeah, I mean, it only gave up probably 3 or 4 positions because, remember, only 3 or 4 drivers actually came to pit road under that caution.
We just see week in and week out, though, this year seemed like more than ever mistakes on pit road, whether it's speeding, drop lug nuts. Seemed like we have a lot of mistakes on pit road this year.
Getting ready for the restart. Here's our sprint, 20 to go. Kyle Busch has led 109 laps today. The Joe Gibbs cars have led 122 today, trying to garner their first checkered flag in the Sprint Cup Series at Auto Club Speedway. Kyle won with a different team, Hendrick Motorsports, back in 2005. And that's the team that Casey Kane drives for. Kane slapped the wall, came back all the way back now to second place.
And that's a guy with a lot of momentum right there. Second place finish and a win. Looking pretty good today.
So that'll be our sprint, 20 to go when we go back to green next time around. Let's take a look at Denny Hamlin's stop, Larry.
I think you're going to maybe see it here on the left rear. You see him put the left rear tire in place. He goes to tight. You saw it fall off. You saw it shoot off. And of course, Denny Hamlin pretty much You'll see it right in there. It fell off. Denny Hamlin's signal to go is when the jack drops. And so if the jack drops, you see the tire changer reach for the lug nut, turns around. Denny Hamlin's gone, had to come back in for that missing lug nut.
Good call by the NASCAR inspector, who was right there over the tire changer's shoulder, looking on. So now the cars that did not stop. Kyle Busch, Casey Kane, Joey Logano running 1, 2, 3, and Brad Keselowski 5th, Kevin Harvick 6th.
I just don't see how you're going to beat Kyle Busch. I don't think the competition can, as long as he doesn't beat himself somehow.
And I know we've had 7 cautions, Mike, but if you look at our last 7 races here, the average green flag run to the finish is 10 laps.
Daryl, I like the 14 and the 29 with those tires. I don't know. Maybe they'll have something for Kyle. He gets a good restart. It'll help. But watch for Tony to be tough.
Oh, yeah.
Stewart 4th and Harvick. Stewart 4th, Biffle 7th. Jeff Gordon, Edwards, and Kenseth. Those are the top 10 cars with fresh tires. When they get to the restart box, Kyle Busch going to have to try to put some distance on this field. 20 laps to go as they come to the green flag to finish off the Auto Club 400. There goes Stewart to the bottom. And into Kane.
Look at the run. Joey Logano's getting on the high side, but he'll have to fall back in behind Kyle Busch.
Yeah, he didn't quite have the momentum. He was almost there, Joey Logano.
And you knew Kyle wasn't going to get to the top of the racetrack.
That was a pretty good mirror driving by Kyle Busch.
Harvick up top. Stewart to the apron, and he's got half a dozen with him. No out of bounds or road closed signs here.
All I can say is the race is on, boys. And they got somebody to chase. That 18 car's been the best car all day. Has anybody got anything for him?
Kane way up the high side, and they triple deck him.
Boy, look at that. And Biffle just made a whale of a move.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick in the 29 got loose off turn 2. He lost that spot to Keselowski in the 2. And look at Kurt Busch in the 78. Just turned it to the bottom and gained 2 spots.
On the apron, slide job. Here I am. Look out.
Oh, boy, that was close.
Wow.
Now that is for 4th on back.
I think they were listening to your sprint 20 to go.
I tell you, that little 78 car is going somewhere, guys. He's got a pretty good car right now at the right time.
And Kurt Busch have his 2nd top 5 in a row after coming from the back off a penalty. Wow.
Kane in the 5 car, all kinds of troubles. It's like they're just trying to get more than there, especially on the exit of the corner.
Yeah, Kane got up high. He's up high again, but he got way too high off of 2. Had to get out of the throttle, lost his momentum, and a bunch of spots.
What a roller coaster that is into turn 3. And then right back up top, exiting 4.
Oh, look out.
Yeah, 4 wide back there.
Whoa, look out.
Almirola shoots through.
That's it. That's it. Oh, my gosh. I couldn't even say what it was because they were banging off each other.
Well, there's a man on a mission in the middle of that. Denny Hamlin at 11, remember, had to go to the back of the field because he had to repit for a missing lug nut. He knows the laps are running out.
Oh, this is
Jimmy
a
Johnson
storm right here.
Back in contention. Unfortunately, back in 20th.
They are all over each other.
It's a swarm, Daryl, as you say. And right now, when these tires are freshest, that's when you got to get all you can.
Guys are taking a lot of chances, but they're making it.
Kevin Harvick battling Carl Edwards, 6th place.
Well, there's a guy right there that has had a whale of a day in that 22 car, and he is stalking Kyle Busch.
Biffle makes the move. One more break, but we're not going to leave you. We're going to go side by side in Fontana with 16 laps to go.
Let's pinch our dreams. Let's wake them up. Make them real. Let's not let anything hold us back.
Clint Bowyer was 10th in his Toyota. And smoke-filled interior of his car. There's the shot from in the car as Clint moves around to climb out.
He's in there somewhere.
He's out of there somewhere.
A cloud of smoke.
He was the 10th place car. Let's ride along and look and listen and see if we can figure out what happened to Bowyer.
They started bad, ends bad.
It's like the minute he rolled out the throttle.
Hold her down there.
That's what we call a death rattle, when they just get that.
You're right there. Nobody's coming at you. Nobody's coming at you.
Well,
looking out the tailpipes there.
Yeah, we know this is an engine failure, and certainly Toyota, they've had their fair share of engine problems. I think they felt pretty comfortable after Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and here with about 15 to go, they lose the engine, looks like in the 15.
Darrell, you're rolling off into the corner at 180 miles an hour, and suddenly all you can see is smoke.
Yeah, well, you know, you can feel it's blowing up, but there's not a darn thing you can do about it but hang on for the ride. And you see he's got the wheels locked down. He's trying to stay out of the track. Doesn't want to go back up in the racetrack. Hanging on for dear life.
A nice job by the spotter to reassure him. Nobody coming in your lane. Once the car immediately behind got by.
Paul Menard was all over him. Oh, here's Hamlin. He's got a little heating problem here, Larry. What'd they do? Throw a little extra tape on that thing for this last run?
Well, it is funny that he's running warm here, but Matt, how about Joey Logano?
For about the last 2 runs, Larry Mack, he's been telling his team that the water and oil temperature absolutely almost pegged. Now he's telling Todd Gordon the water temperature is 300 and the oil temperature gauge absolutely pegged. It has come down now, he says, to about 285 under caution, but they need clean air and fast.
Well, as long as the system, it's a pressurized system, as long as it doesn't blow the water out, temperature is kind of it's a moot point.
This the best thing he can do, though, Larry. This will cool the engine. It will also cool the oil, and we've only got 14 laps to go. I believe he's going to be fine.
So Logano is coasting, shutting the engine down here to coast along, get some cool air through that radiator. You're not generating any more heat with that engine off. I'm not sure how much it'll cool, but it can't hurt.
Well, the oil temperature will come down for sure, and that will affect the water temperature. So overall, I think it's going to be all right. The kid has drove his heart out today. This is one of the best races I've seen Joey Logano drive in a long time.
He is the 2nd place car under caution with 14 laps to go after Clint Bowyer has lost an engine. Lap 185.
It's kind of cool calling him a kid as long as he's been around, but he's still very young. Whoa, look out.
Everybody wants pit road. Steve?
Carl Edwards saying the 99 is just too loose. That's been a problem all day for him, but he will take 4 tires. Casey Kane also on pit road. They've done a great job of fighting back. Let's go to Krista.
4 tires a call for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He said he's just so tight in the center. The handling has gone away, so they're going to give it one last shot to see how many guys he can get past. Matt?
And the 24, Jeff Gordon, the 16 of Biffle, and the 11 of Hamlin all have come down pit road trying to get fresh tires for one more shot for the win here as the closing laps are winding down.
8 drivers chose not to pit, so the race off pit road will be for 9th place, Ricky Stenhouse. The first 8 did not pit. We'll recap them for you in a moment as we go side by side in Fontana with 13 laps to go.
Let's pinch our dreams. Let's wake them up. Make them real. Let's not let anything hold us back. Not even 292,000 pounds. Let's keep our head in the stars, our feet on the ground, and nothing will be beyond our reach. Toyota, let's go places.
So do you guys think being fast is better than being slow?
Yes! It's better to be fast, to not be bitten by a werewolf, and then you'll be turned into one, and you'll have to stay in, and then you'll have to get shade because it'll be too hot, and then you're like, which means I wish I was back to a human.
What?
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network for your iPhone 5.
The spicy popcorn chicken is so great,
I
right?
know. My sweet potato tots are so much fun. You can kind of play with them if you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Without having to worry about what your mom says.
You should call her and tell her you're playing with your food and everything's fine.
You know what? You are right. I am going to call her right now.
Do it.
Hello, Mom? I'm a man, and if I want to play with my food, then I'm gonna.
Good for you.
Absolutely. I have to go home. I'm grounded.
Get poppin' with spicy jumbo popcorn chicken and perfectly poppable sweet potato tots. This is Ayusonic.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything we learn making tires that face the grueling demands of NASCAR inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Chris Myers, Michael Waltrip under caution with 12 laps to go.
Row 1 has dominated this race, Chris, but I like Row 2. Tony Stewart, he was solid on the restart, and Kurt Busch, Kyle's brother, man, he was streaking through the field. He's got a little bit fresher tires. This is going to be fun. No one's hungrier than Kurt Busch. I like him for this win on the outside of Row 2.
Meanwhile, Kyle Busch won one race last year. He's led in the last two. Pit road penalties have created a problem, Mike, but he has dominated today.
Kyle Busch at the front. Joey Logano right alongside. Kyle riding a 31-race winless streak, the longest since he's been at Joe Gibbs Racing. Logano trying to break into victory lane. Dave Blaney was the free pass car. He's back on the lead lap. And at the back, Ryan Newman, speeding penalty. How about Kurt Busch, though? After that speeding penalty, did you ever figure he'd be right up here in Row 2 for the final restart?
And he's right here, you know, his brother and Kyle and Kurt knows the tail here. These guys might just get bushwhacked. He's looking to the outside.
Logano down to block Stewart. Stewart trying to get further underneath him. Can't. What a land rush into turn 1.
Hey, that 78 may come out on top if he can get up off of 2. Couldn't quite pull it off.
That's if they all get off turn 2.
Whoa, tight off of that corner.
Boy, Joey Logano, he did not give Kyle Busch much room. There comes Kurt Busch down to the bottom on the back.
And that's right where he's been running, Larry. Now watch him. He'll go down on that apron. He's got a lot of grip down there, and he's put a slide job on a couple of guys.
And he's got fresher tires. Here he comes up against Logano, but Kyle Busch brings them off turn 4 once again.
Man, Kurt and the 22 car of Logano are banging off each other.
Harvick edges up behind them, looking for a shot. Here comes Carl Edwards as well. Down on the bottom in yellow.
Yeah, Carl Edwards in the 99, and there's also right behind him Jeff Gordon in that 24 car.
And we haven't talked about Jeff Gordon all day. He's been running in the top 15, 18.
And how about Dale Earnhardt Jr.? He's back in the mix.
Contact.
Hold on
Edwards,
to her, boys.
Logano, and Kurt Busch.
What an amazing run these guys are making. This is a whale of a race right here, boys.
9 laps to go. And Kyle Busch watches it all unfold in his rearview mirror.
I was going to say for a second, but it's a whale of a race. Man, you just find a spot. Looking. Can I find a hole?
You know, we're looking back at Carl Edwards and Denny Hamlin from Joey Logano. Michael Waltrip talked about fresh tires. Carl Edwards and Denny Hamlin, they have fresher tires than any of these drivers.
Junior, did he get turned or did he dive? I think he had a little help, but boy, he recovered quickly after that top to bottom run at the entrance to turn 3.
How about that Carl Edwards up there fighting for the win with that old Subway uniform on that has left over from Phoenix?
Yeah, it did look like Harvick got into the back of Dale Jr. Nice recovery. Let's have a quick look. Logano is inching up on Kyle Busch.
Logano has been, I am so impressed with the run he's made today, Larry. I really am. That splitter being off the left front, it doesn't matter because that corner of the car's on the track anyway.
But I think his problem is not Kyle Busch. It's Denny Hamlin and Carl Edwards on those fresher tires right behind him.
7 to go this time.
And laps are running out. They're going to have to get there in a hurry.
7 laps to go. David Reagan in the pits overheating.
Oh, it's going to tighten up. We know that. Those fresher tires will prevail if they got enough laps to use them.
And the freshest tires are Hamlin and Edwards as Logano takes the lead. Can he hold it off the corner?
Can he get up in front of Kyle?
No.
No, he didn't make it.
Not enough room.
Oh, my gosh, that was so close. falls back in line, loses momentum, and here comes Hamlin.
Best race ever at California Speedway. Kyle Busch trying to hold off his teammate Denny Hamlin.
Oh, yeah,
Joey Logano up high. Logano with a big steam run, and he almost turned Hamlin around. Oh, my goodness.
What a move.
And the fans go wild.
And he'll clear Kyle Busch that time.
Have you ever?
No, I've never. But I tell you, I don't think that battle between the 11 and 22, I think we're getting ready to see something, boys.
I doubt this is over with 5 laps to go.
We're getting ready to see something.
And these fans know it. Nobody is sitting down.
Brad Keselowski off pace, telling him to pick up his speed to get through the last 5 laps here. He was 11th.
If we get through the last 5 laps out of caution, it will surprise me, I can tell you.
3 wide behind. Oh, man. Look at this. Down to the bottom, Matt Kenseth. Kevin Harvick has fallen back to that crowd.
Remember we talked about Joey Logano running warm. He's pushing a lot of water, but you know what? It doesn't matter now.
Don't even tell me about it. Just drive the wheels off that thing.
With 5 to go, I think he can pick up that car and carry it home.
How about this? The 2 guys that have had this rivalry the last week, and look at them. Here they are, working on each other.
Carl Edwards for 3rd, takes it. Kyle Busch wind up on the high side, and boy, the 11 just can't quite close enough to get to Logano.
4 to go, 4 to go. You're doing fine, don't look back.
Busch retakes 3rd. Kurt Busch has dropped to 7th behind Greg Biffle. Dale Jr. now 5th.
What a great recovery by the 88. Man, they were in trouble a little bit ago, and here he is marching to the front.
But up front, the little engine that could, steaming along, Joey Logano in his Penske Ford.
And here comes Junior.
Remember Dale Earnhardt Jr., he has fresher tires, just like Carl Edwards in that 99, especially compared to Kyle Busch in the 18.
Joey Logano is starting to gap that 11 car, though, Larry. He's starting to pull away.
He is pulling away, Darrell, but will that engine last 3 more laps?
If he doesn't run out of water, he'll be okay. That's a water heater right there, boys.
Yeah, he beat Denny Hamlin that time by 2.5 tenths.
Yeah, but Hamlin's on the bottom and digging.
And Hamlin's tires are 22 laps fresher than Logano's.
Don't you know Joey Logano he so wants to beat Denny Hamlin in this race.
And don't you know Hamlin is fired up now after those 2 made contact. And Logano got to the front.
I think they'll show each other a lot of respect in this situation. I think.
I hope. 2 to go.
2 to go. Oh, my gosh. Who would have thought?
2 to go.
Kyle Busch is 1 second back. Earnhardt 2.5. Carl Edwards is 2 back.
Hamlin is there, boys. He's there. He's stalking him. I believe Hamlin's a skosh better.
It seems like he has a bit of an advantage down in turn 1 and 2.
Teammates last year, rivals this year. Friends, maybe never. But Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin are going to settle this right now.
Well, Hamlin cut him some slack. He had a run on him. Oh, Hamlin. Joey got loose. He got a little sideways off the floor.
There you go.
Hamlin gave him a shot. 1 to go.
Outside, barely. Outside.
Hamlin there. Logano to the bottom, trying to hold his ground.
That's going to be tough, though. But he's been running good on the bottom. If he can just clear Hamlin right there.
No way. He's going to lose his momentum. They're going to touch hard. Are they going to make it?
Neck and neck.
Down the back, side by side.
Kyle Busch closing in.
Watch out for the third place car, Kyle Busch. He's looking.
Hamlin edges ahead. They touch. They touch, and here comes Kyle. Hamlin, Logano on the wall. Hamlin spins down the racetrack, and Kyle Busch wins in California.
I thought they'd be nice to each other. They weren't. Hard impact on the 11 car, head on. I don't like the looks of that.
Hard hit to the inside wall for Hamlin. A bounce off the outside wall for Logano, and it ends in a shower of sparks.
I am not surprised. I was hoping that wouldn't happen, but I'm not surprised. Denny's got his window net down. I think he's fine.
And that's a good sign to the rescue workers that he is okay. Two drivers went into turn 3, both refusing to lose.
I saw nothing wrong. That was two guys racing for the win. The 22 gets on, they're side by side. One pushes up a little bit, they make contact.
And here is the 5-hour Energy big move of the race.
White flag right there.
Yeah, that's when Joey got loose off turn 4, allowed Hamlin to get up beside him and make the pass. But here's where this is where it gets crazy. Joey can't quite get up in front of Denny right here. It's a drag race down the back. Hamlin's got a slight advantage, but then Joey fights back, and this is where they really go nuts down here in turn 3. Got to run, got to run, got to run, got a slight edge, but then Joey gets loose on the bottom. Watch his car, gets loose, walks up the hill. They make contact. Then they really get together, and that's when the 22 went in the wall, and the 11 hit that inside wall hard. Watch his car. Watch the back of the car. Ooh, I mean, the whole car just came up off the ground.
And I don't see any safer barrier in that area right there.
I don't either, Larry.
But, Darrell, I agree with you. That's not over-aggression. That's not payback. That's two drivers racing hard for the win and refusing to lose.
I'd fire both of them if they didn't do that. I am a little concerned for Denny because that was an incredibly hard hit.
So that's Denny Hamlin being attended to at the scene. Joey Logano climbs out of what's left of his race car, and here's your winner. Kyle Busch breaks his winless streak. He gets the first win at Auto Club Speedway at Toyota's home track for them, and the first win here for Joe Gibbs Racing. And boy, Tony Stewart is after Logano.
Well, I did see some punches thrown today. You can't say they're just pushing each other. Not sure what went on between Stewart and Logano.
Now, Stewart could have been reacting to the restart, where Logano came way down the track to block Tony, who had a run on the inside. Let's take a look at that.
Let's see what happens here. This is what Tony is upset about, I guess.
No question.
Joey blocked him, cut him off right there, and I'm sure that's what Tony. You know, quite honestly, it's a restart for heaven's sake. I mean, nobody did anything wrong. You know, Joey did nothing wrong.
And that's Stewart going for the win, and it's Logano trying to go as low as he can go.
Come on, boys, we're racing.
And Denny Hamlin has been helped into the ambulance after a hard crash into the inside wall at the conclusion of this race.
Tony Stewart hot and bothered at Logano after a block on the restart. Wonder if Tony remembers how he blocked Michael Waltrip in Talladega one time. Punches thrown but separated. And the winner, Kyle Busch, he took advantage of the Logano Hamlin. Another incident on the final lap. And Matt Yoakum is there for the celebration.
Kyle Busch makes history in California. The first Sprint Cup win for the coach. Joe Gibbs. Could you win it in any more dramatic Kyle Busch fashion?
No. They forgot about me, though. I knew they were gonna, but I figured the spotters would say that, you know, the 18's coming, y'all better stop messing around. But what a great day. This Interstate Batteries Camry was so fast all day. I mean, geez. It's so fun to come out here, perform like this, but to finally win it. I mean, it's been 3 years in the making. We finished third a couple years ago, second last year, first now this year. So Dave Rogers and all these guys, I can't say enough about Toyota. Interstate Batteries, Monster Energy. Appreciate M&M's support always, and you know, the fans, and of course Sprint. You know, we appreciate Sprint and what all they do for our sport.
Now, you mentioned they forgot about you. You saw them starting to get close and starting to trade paint. What was going through your mind?
Hopefully I can get by before they wreck. You know, when they both went to the bottom side of 3 and 4, I'm like, oh man, this is golden. I got enough up here. I can make this happen. And lo and behold, you know, I put my foot to it and drove around the outside of them before they started crashing, or maybe as they were crashing. I'm not sure, but man, just feels so good to finally win. I mean, we weren't going to win if it wasn't for those two battling. If they would have been single file and just racing, you know, it would have went down in order. But can't say enough about all of Joe Gibbs Racing, everybody at TRD. We appreciate their support, and of course, being right here in California, finally we get the home win for Toyota. Finally we get a win for Joe. Joe, this one's for you, buddy. I drove my butt off right there at the end. You know, it always do. And Norm also, man. We appreciate Norm Miller with Interstate Batteries.
Kyle Busch sweeps the weekend. Steve?
Well, Matt, we've caught up with Joey Logano back in the garage area, and Joey, controversy again. I know you just had a chance to look at the replay with Denny Hamlin, your side of it.
We worked stuff last week. Probably shouldn't have done what he did last week, so that's what he gets. And besides that, I think our Auto Club Ford was very strong all day. I was very happy with the car we had. We were super fast, led a lot of laps, nothing to hang our head down about, that's for sure. We're very, very proud of that. Doug Yates, thank you so much for the motor. That thing ran the last 7-8 laps with no water in it, just pushing water over 300 degrees. So it's really amazing for those guys. So thank you guys everyone at the engine shop to get a solid run out of here today. Just look forward to get back to the racetrack and try it again.
Joey, here's the restart. Just spoke to Tony Stewart. He was really angry. Tell us what happened on the restart.
Yeah, I mean, I had to throw the block there. That was a race for the lead. And I felt like if the 14 got underneath me, that was going to be the end of my opportunity to win the race. So I was just trying to protect the spot I had. And I was actually pedaling because I couldn't keep the 18 aligned. I was actually faster than the 18 getting the tires hooked up. And then, you know, I'm trying to stagger myself, make sure I don't beat him to the line, and then I had to block the 14 front because I was pedaling it. So I'll talk to him, and we'll see what happens. But, you know, I don't know where I think he finished decent. So we'll talk about it some more.
Thank you, Joey. Appreciate your time. Let's go back to Chris Myers.
All right, thank you, Stephen. We're awaiting a health report. We certainly hope that Denny Hamlin is okay. You heard Logano say, referring to Tony Stewart, I had to block, and that's what he gets referring to Denny Hamlin. Michael Waltrip, let's take a look at where it went bad.
Well, when they come into the turn, Denny on the entry to turn 3 left Joey plenty of room on the bottom. I think Denny knew that the 18 was coming of Kyle Busch. He decided he better give him a little room, but Joey just kept coming up and up and up and drove into the side of Denny. Denny didn't do anything wrong. I think Denny was respectful of the last lap and chose to give Joey extra room, and Joey used that extra room and a little bit more.
Kyle Busch took advantage. You're watching the Sprint post-race show. Would that have happened had Logano and Hamlin not had the incident the week before? A question worth pondering. We'll have more in a moment. Quite a bit of drama at the end here at the Auto Club 400. NASCAR on Fox, the post-race show presented by Sprint. Kyle Busch ahead of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Kurt Busch. Tony Stewart wound up 22nd. You heard Joey Logano talk about the restart. Steve Burns caught up with Stewart after Tony went over to question and do more than that. Actually got a swing in there. Let's see what Steve Burns came up with.
Well, Tony, what angered you at the end of the race? What did you take issue with?
What the hell do you think I was mad about? Dumb little runs us clear down to the infield. He wants to about everybody else, and he's the one that drives like a little. I'm going to bust his ass.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
All right, Michael Waltrip. Logano's been, we talked about it in the pre-race show, as the continuation celebration for Kyle Busch and the unofficial results. But Logano's got to stand up for himself.
Well, I think he started this race today proving that that's exactly what he intended to do. And I didn't have any problem with anything Joey did until he got down in turn 3 on the last lap. I understand you got to push and shove to win one of these things sometimes, but you can't spin yourself out. He leaned on Denny a little bit and grabs the lead. That's one thing, but he crashed them both.
Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, that's 12 and 13. A couple of California drivers. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the rookie, wound up 20th. Overall, Kyle Busch, the winner, leading the most laps, 125. Joey Logano led 41, second most.
How about leading the most laps and I won the race? That sounds pretty calm, right?
No, it doesn't happen a lot, and it hasn't happened for Kyle Busch. And as we made note of here, Toyota's Joe Gibbs' first win here at the Auto Club Speedway. They've won in Nationwide, as you saw yesterday.
This is what I'm talking about. I don't have any problem with anything that's happened here. This is a great race for the lead. You can see Logano is side drafting, bumping Denny, but when they get to the corner, watch what Denny does. He leaves plenty of room between the cars, right there. Denny knows that Kyle's back there, and he's just going to make the turn. He didn't crowd Joey down the hill, but Joey just decided that he was going to have to push it harder and harder and harder to get this win. Look at Joey, straight up into the side of Denny and crashed them both. Denny did a responsible job of trying to win the race. He gave Joey room. He made the corner. He was going to have a great race with either one of them. I don't know which one would have won with Kyle on the outside. But this is a sad crash. I mean, Denny hit really hard.
Denny did get out of the car, but he collapsed and taken to the medical center here for treatment. We have not received an update yet, but we will make sure as soon as we get any information to report to you regarding Denny Hamlin, we will.
And getting out of the car, that's just second nature. You get out because you know that thing's smoking and you don't want in there. And when he got out and realized that he was hurt, he laid right down. So a lot of concern for Denny here at the end of the race.
5 races, 5 different winners for Kyle Busch, celebrating in victory lane. We'll have more in a moment. An adventurous ending here with Kyle Busch winning out. NASCAR on Fox and the Auto Club 400 and the Sprint post-race show. Our podium finish, and it's always tough enough to win, let alone finish in the top 3. Dale Earnhardt Jr. second, and Kurt Busch with brother Kyle, part of the podium celebration here in Southern California. Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano, their history goes back not only to last week with Bristol when they got into it with each other, but a war on Twitter. After that, even prior to the season, former teammates, they have not gotten along. You saw the end result, and Krista Voda is outside the care center with the latest on Denny Hamlin. Krista?
And Chris, we have not seen Denny yet. He was brought over here in an ambulance. His officials and team representatives inside, but we have been told by NASCAR that Denny is awake and alert, but he will be transported to a local hospital. That is the latest we have from down here at the care center.
And for more, of course, Speed will have coverage. You can go to foxsports.com to get further information in the aftermath as you see the mix-up. It looked like it was either going to be Logano or Hamlin going to victory lane, despite Kyle Busch dominating this race. But when this happened, it cleared the way for Kyle and Joe Gibbs Racing to celebrate the tough hit that Denny Hamlin took. And we certainly, it's good news to hear that he is alert and awake. So Dale Earnhardt Jr. now moves into the points lead, replacing Brad Keselowski. Carl Edwards up to 5th.
Great job by Jimmy Johnson's team. They weren't a factor all day long. Finished 12th, still remaining up to 3rd in the points. Casey Kane, a solid run. And look at there. Hamlin and Logano 9th and 10th in points. That means they get to park next to each other at the next race.
And that is 2 weeks from today in the close confines of Martinsville, Virginia, Denny Hamlin's home state. Clint Boyer running well 10th, and then the engine problem, currently 14th in points.
A couple of guys back there, Jeff Gordon and Martin Truex, they didn't have very good days either. Ryan Newman had a late problem on pit road and wound up 20th.
Tonight on Fox, animation, domination, The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, Family Guy. You'll laugh out loud and enjoy, as always. 2 weeks from today, the short track in Martinsville, Virginia. Ryan Newman won the wild finish there last time, but Denny Hamlin has had great success with 4 victories on that track. We hope he's okay and well enough to run. And Fox Saturday Baseball, some good matchups to get you going. The Yankees and Tigers. Boy, the Yankees, who are they going to field in the lineup? And the Angels, Josh Hamilton going against his former team with the Texas Rangers. For continuing race coverage here from Fontana and more on Denny Hamlin from the hospital, they'll keep you posted. Tune into Victory Lane on Speed and also at foxsports.com for more information. Dale Earnhardt Jr., your points leader. Kyle Busch, the winner here. It's NASCAR's spring break. A week off before 2 weeks from today when we return. From all of us, it's been a Barry Landis production directed by Artie Kempner. I'm Chris Myers. Have a great Easter. Thanks for watching NASCAR on Fox.